Gibbons on the rollout to his right. Got a receiver in stride. Ball stripped away by Gibbons. Touchdown.
Rangers Network is your home for Smithson Valley High School athletic coverage.
Bounces off a tackler, now breaks through another tackle.
Hey, Franco, I just enjoy watching him run.
Thursday, watch live as the Rangers are on the road against the Hendrickson Hawks. Replay it in primetime. Then break it down with Coach Hill one more time. Get your guns up and subscribe now to Rangers Network.
For the Smithson Valley Rangers, this is the start of a new journey. Alignment, assignment, technique. Those words have been preached to football players all month, but now it's time to strap them on and get ready to start the 2018 season. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Ranger Network. I'm Tony Brubaker. With me tonight is the former Baylor Bear and Washington Redskin, Geff Gandy. And boy, are we excited for some football tonight, Geff. As everybody's been talking about all month long, football's finally here.
Well, it is pretty exciting. Even though it's about 100 degrees outside in South Texas, you can still get real excited because guess what? Football season starts across the board from high school all the way up to the pros. And Tony, I was looking at last year, it's been 9 months and 7 days since the Westlake game. So I think I'm ready for a little bit of football. I don't know about you.
It is an exciting time in football stadiums all over the state and all over the country because this is opening night for so many teams. This is a new season, a similar quarterback from last year, but all the pieces around him have changed, and that's the challenge for the Rangers offense.
It's always been a challenge with every team, Tony, but when you think about the Smithson Valley pride, the whole program is based around 4 pillars: class, discipline, the effort, and tradition. Those banners are actually hanging on the side of the stadium. So this program is built from year to year to be competitive, to be successful, and it's not about rebuilding, it's about reloading.
Before we go to our first break, let me remind you that there's some changes on defense as well, and let's talk about one that we know more specifically about, and that's Will Gibbons, last year's leading tackler at linebacker, is now a defensive lineman.
Coach Hill was telling me a few weeks ago that one part of their defense he was not very pleased with last year, and that was their productivity of the defensive tackles. They weren't getting that push in the middle of the formation. So he talked to Will about the possibility of moving down into 3 technique into the defensive tackle, and they went through spring training kind of experimenting with it, and Will really gravitated to it. He's gained a little bit of extra weight. He's at 240 pounds now, and he still kept his quickness. So Coach Hill feels like that Will Gibbons will do a really good job at defensive left tackle.
Should be an exciting game. Midland Lee is the opponent. The Rebels come in after a 10-3 season a year ago, where they advanced to the 3rd round of the playoffs. He lost to Euless Trinity in an exciting shootout. Head coach is Clint Hartman. We'll talk more about him later on. Right now, we're going to take our first time out, so stick with us here on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal ISD. The Comal Independent School District is a fast-growing and innovative district with more than 23,000 students. Families are attracted to Comal ISD because of its family values, neighborhood schools, and safe environments. Come to Comal ISD. And Chicken Express, home of world-famous chicken tenders and legendary Chicken-y sweet tea. Dine in, drive up, or drive through. We'll see you at Chicken Express. And Physicians Premier. Our conveniently located freestanding ERs are fully equipped and expertly staffed so you get the best care closest to home. At Physicians Premier, you'll find faster service, friendly doctors, and a comfortable level like no other. And Texas Regional Bank. Buying or building a home? We have construction and mortgage loans to help. For all your personal or business banking needs, Texas Regional Bank. The people you know. And Texas 46, a home-style hill country restaurant, has been in the Spring Branch community for over 30 years, where the focus is on a Lone Star favorite, slow-cooked barbecue. We can cater or host your next large event, too. Welcome to Texas 46.
Hear a little bit of crowd noise as they begin to acknowledge the beginning of this football game. About ready to go, Geoff. And We've talked about their offense, their defense, big front line, great tacklers at linebacker and safety, so they present a problem, but they're going to be going up against an offense by Smithson Valley that is expected to put some points on the board, but you don't know where they're coming from this year because all the specialty guys are new except for quarterback Levi Williams.
Well, and that's a great point because we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast that this is a new set of weapons, so to speak, that Levi Williams will be able to distribute the football to. And again, he's got 2 targets that he likes to go to. And the first one would be Mark Franco, he's a running back, and also Darlton Fresh. Those are the 2 running backs that he's going to probably get the ball to the most. But then again, you look at the outside receivers, you got Chris Rivera, and you've got Austin Howell, the tight end and the wide receiver that they'll probably get some touches as well.
Smithson Valley is in its second meeting all time with Lee. Smithson Valley won 21-14 and when they opened the 2015 season. Guys are figuring out which side of the field they're on now because they both went out to the wrong side. Season openers in this decade, Smithson Valley 7-1. Their only loss in 2014 to Midland High. By the way, since 2000, Smithson Valley is 15-3 in season openers. So it does look like that Fungi is going to be kicking off for the Rebels. Going back for the Rangers.
A little bit of wind going left to right. Not much, but just a little bit of wind.
Looks like Ethan Sill, and I can't make up the one closest to us. But we're about ready to be underway as the Rangers of Smithson Valley take on the Rebels of Midland Lee. The kickoff, end over end, goes to the goal line where it's brought out up the left sideline across the 15 and then hit and dragged down just across the 25 is running back Darlington Frash, who had a nice return that time, and the Rangers will start 1st and 10 from their own 26.
Here we go, start of a new season, Tony, right here, and you got your offense coming out on the field, and a little bit different formation, and as they huddle on the sidelines this time, but you'll see a different formation when they huddle on the field. We'll try to describe it here in a minute.
They are a hurry-up offense, and that won't change, but as Jeff mentioned, they might do some things differently. Levi Williams sends 2 receivers to the right. There's 1 to the left and 2 backs on either side of him as he's in the shotgun. The offensive line will tell you about them in just a few moments. Shotgun snap, handoff. Not much room as spinning away is Franco. Now the ball's on the ground. Williams picks it up as it goes deep into Ranger territory. So it'll be a big loss on the play as the ball was knocked away from Franco, and Williams finally picked it up.
Well, Franco was trying to, fight for some extra yardage, and I think the ball just kind of got loose from his hands in the middle of the pile, and thankfully Williams was Johnny on the spot to pick it up.
So the loss is 10 back to the 16, so it's 2nd down and 20 for the Rangers. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stacked formation to the left of Williams, who wants to throw. Has some time, then gets pressure from the right, escapes it, runs to the sideline, throws it up the field, and Radabaugh lets it go through his hands. It might have been tipped on the way to him. I don't know if that's perhaps why he was unable to hang on to it, but it goes incomplete and it's 3rd and 20.
Well, again, we talked about the offensive line for Smithson Valley is a little inexperienced. Well, at that time, Williams had to run a little bit and really dodge a lot of the would-be tacklers, and that's that first front 3 in the 34 defense for Midland Lee that got pressure on him.
That defensive line of Mackey, White, and Madrid are impressive, and then their linebackers, and we'll tell you about them in a minute. Here's Williams, fakes it to the right, now wants to go left, has a man that was covered well. A nice defensive job by Taylor on coverage. Radabaugh again was the intended receiver. It goes incomplete, and it's 4th down.
Well, not a whole lot there for Williams to be able to get it into Radabaugh's possession. He was covered tightly by Carl Taylor. He's their free safety. He's a good athlete. In fact, he's their hardest hitter on the Rebel defense.
Leading returning tackler with 92. So punt formation as the Rangers, looks like Jeremiah Gilliam will be ready to kick it as the snap is a good one, but there's a whistle. Not a bad kick. There's flags.
I think it's delay of game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll back him up 5 yards and they'll re-kick it.
So the Rangers on this initial possession tonight going the wrong direction early.
Well, it doesn't help when the first play, when your running back is fighting for extra yards and the ball gets popped out of his hands and it goes backwards instead of forwards.
So again, Gilliam. It's a low line drive. We'll try to get some roll out of it. It goes across the 40 and out of bounds at about the 42 or 43. So give him about 26 yards on that punt. And that's where the Rebels will start 1st and 10.
Well, he's trying to, almost like a rugby-style kick, where he wants to kick it low and end over end and let it roll, and it just didn't get a whole lot of bounce and a roll out of it this time. So you're looking at Midland Lee, the Rebels starting already in the Ranger territory at their own 43-yard line.
So we'll see what the Rebels do on their initial possession after the Rangers have to punt. 2 receivers right. Hinojosa hands it off. That's the tailback. Trailer gets a couple of yards up to the 41. Give him a gain of 2. A bunch of Rangers in there, including Corey McElroy down near the bottom of the pile, one of the linebackers.
It's going to be interesting to see how Will Gibbons adapts to his defensive tackle position here tonight.
Shotgun snap. Quick throw. It's Fungi on the loose. Gets a first down past the 30, before he's finally brought down on a nice tackle by the Rangers there.
Yeah, that was set up nicely. It's that quick hitch pass, and the wide receiver goes downfield and block. Logan Acosta was the blocker in front of Fungi that time.
So no huddle offense. Hinojosa, quick pass out to Fungi on the edge. Got open quickly, then brought down by Nick Aiken, a running back last year, a cornerback this year. So a short gain of about 6 to the 24 makes it 2nd down and 4. Motion now is Hinojosa will keep it, goes up the middle, has a seam, gets a first down, brought down just inside the 20. Down the bottom of the pile was a safety, Mason Livingston.
Yeah. That's that simple zone read, and that time Hinojosa realized that there was a gap for him to keep the ball, and so he kept it right up the middle when he had enough for the first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the Ranger 19. Motion away from the quarterback. Hinojosa wants to throw, has a man in the middle. It's a completed pass. Acosta will take it across the 10. Looks like another first down as he gets to the 8-yard line before he's brought down. And right now the Rebels are 1st and goal from the Ranger 8.
There's just everything's scripted right now. These first 10 plays are scripted, and it's just going as script as it was written. They're just marching down the field.
Defense needs to make a play now and bring a stop to the script. Here's a handoff to Trailer. Up the middle he goes. He gets a couple of yards before he's dragged down. Looked like Zoig was there first.
Yeah, Zoid.
So 2nd and goal from the 5. Hinojosa gets his signals from the sideline. All the backs looking that way, now move. Hinojosa has a back to either side of him and a slot to the right. He gives it to Trailer finally, and he'll be brought down. Nice open field tackle by Sill. Just past the 10, falling ahead is Trailer to the 6, so it's 3rd and 6. Well, 3rd and goal from the 6.
I was going to give some props out to Trey Moore, number 99, a sophomore in his first start at left end, defensive end. He did a nice job that time to string out the play so that there was no way that Trailer was able to cut up field.
All right. 3rd and goal from the 6. Hinojosa is brought down. He wanted to throw the ball, finally started to scramble up the middle. I think that was Gibbons that brought him down at the 6, so it'll be a field goal try for the Rebels now. So a defensive stand by the defense of Smithson Valley here on the opening drive.
Yeah. Get away with 3 points in this situation is really a small-time win for the defense at this point.
And the kicker is Devin, and he was not the kicker we saw doing most of the work before the game, but this one's up and good. And the Rebels have got on the board with a 3-0 lead. 7:43 to go in the opening frame. We have a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them as you're on the Ranger Network.
With GVTC Connect Home, I can get 24-hour-a-day security monitoring and even get alerts on my phone while I'm on the field at practice. I can lock and unlock my doors, arm and disarm the system remotely, and even see who's on my front porch right here on my smartphone. Coach, wipe your feet.
Let GVTC give you peace of mind when you're not at home. Sign up for GVTC Connect Home today.
We've got spirit. Yeah, we do. Fill up your tank and support the Rangers, too. When you get gas, look for the Rangers Spirit Pump because Pit Stop and Fishers are donating a percentage of sales from that pump to the Smithson Valley Athletic Booster to support our student athletes. Get gas here and fill up the Booster Club's bank. Here's where you can find your Spirit Pumps. When you see it, pull up and fill up, Rangers.
Back to Ranger Stadium, where the Rangers have given up 3 points here in the early going, but from my opinion, after they moved the ball as well as they did, starting at the 43, to hold them to only 3 points when it looked like they were going in for a touchdown, that's a good news.
Well, a couple things. I think the defense made a couple of adjustments, and they got better pressure in the backfield that basically stifled the plays down there towards the goal line. And number two is it's harder to throw when you closer you get to the goal line as well. So, and Ahosa didn't have a whole lot of lane to throw into.
One could say they got a little conservative down there, but in any event, the kickoff is up in the air. It is fielded again by Frash down the left side, and he's hit and tackled before he gets to the 20 on a gang tackle by the jerseys of white, as Midland Lee is rallying to the ball on the kickoff coverage that time, and the Rangers will start in negative territory at their own 17.
Well, I guess if you're a Midland Lee Rebel fan, this is kind of where you hope the football game would start. Your team is down at the opponent's side of the field so far in the first quarter.
That offensive line of Logan Smith, Merritt Everick, Devin Smith, Taylor Brooks, and Ronald Copney will try to make something happen for Levi Williams and the Ranger offense. Williams out of the shotgun, has motion, fakes it, hands it up the middle to Franco. Looks like he'll get 2, 3, maybe call it a couple of yards to the 19. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Good job on the defensive interior line. That was Mackey down at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to move those big guys.
Yeah.
Those front three, they really hold up about 4 different gaps.
So again, a shotgun formation for Williams. Both interior linebackers are stepping up in the gaps. Look like they have 6 men on the line right now. Williams, shotgun snap, fakes a handoff, throws it wide, throws it too high for Gilliam. It'll go incomplete, and it's 2nd down and 8. Levi that time just a little too much energy throwing it out there.
Yeah, they had a mismatch out there because they were in zone. The Midland Lee was in zone coverage, and they had a mismatch out there. Levi just overthrew him.
So on 3rd down, a couple of new Rangers come in. Levi looks to the sideline. Short huddle. Quick huddle, if you will.
Quick snap, hopefully.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 2 running backs to his right. Williams wants to throw, has it to Gilliam. That should be close to a 1st down. He avoids one tackler, then gets hit by another. The spot looks favorable, though, and the Rangers will have their first down of 2018.
Good passing catch. I think you're going to have that quick passing attack to be able to avoid the pass rush from the front 3. So that was a good-looking play. Again, I think Levi Williams was looked to the sideline. He said, we got a mismatch over there on the slot receiver, and hit Gilliam right between the safeties.
And pardon me, that was Chris Rivera who made the catch. I had Gilliam on the brain there, and I messed it up. So Rivera gets the 1st down catch. Now Williams wants to throw. Radabaugh across the middle. A throw, a catch, another 1st down. As they get near midfield to the Rangers on a nice throw and catch from Williams to Radabaugh.
Radabaugh's coming through. He was one-on-one with Bruce Franco, number 14, the quarterback, and he just beat him.
They got a flag. There's a flag in the middle of the field. We'll just have to see what it is. It's Illegal man downfield is the call. So that pass completion on first down will go away, and the Rangers will be penalized here. We'll see how far they go.
Rule for offensive linemen, you can engage up to 3 yards. After that, they're going to call illegal receiver downfield. In an RPO, run pass option type of style of offense, it's tough. A lot of times those linemen get caught in that situation.
So the 5-yard loss makes it 1st and 15. The Rangers at their own 23. See what the offense comes up with here. 2 receivers to the right. There's 3 backs at all in the backfield with Williams. He takes the snap, gives it to Franco, who starts right, now comes left. There's a big bunch of green grass in front of him. He'll get across the 40, another first down as he's finally dragged down by Carl Taylor, but a nice job of seeing what was available and coming to the left.
Yeah, that's all Franco right there, and his ability to stop and start on a dime and go to the right where everything's bottled up and head to the left where he adds a little bit of real estate. That was a good-looking play.
So good job by Mark Franco, the senior running back at 5'9", 190, had almost 400 yards last year. Rangers snap it. Williams wants to throw, and this one's tipped. Good job of getting up in the air by Tracy Mackey. We've called his name a couple of times last year. 27 tackles and 6 for loss. This time he breaks up a pass, making it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Williams was trying to hit Radaball in that slot formation on a quick pass, and it just got deflected to the line of scrimmage by Mackey.
So as you said a couple of minutes ago, quick passing game, they're seeing that too and being coached well. Williams fakes the throw, now wants to run, goes up the middle, gets spun around. They'll give him about 5. It'll be, well, we'll see how far they spot him. To the 46 is where they'll give Levi as he was spun around. It's 3rd and 5 now from the 46.
You know, Tony, that looked like almost like a play call for him to look like he was going to throw.
Right.
It was almost like a quarterback
Quarterback draw.
Yeah, quarterback draw. Exactly.
I think it was a play call, a called play. That too.
This is our first game too, right? I'm stumbling all over my words here.
We got a tight end to the left, a receiver either way. Now motion from Frash. Williams takes the snap, looks down the field, looking for Radaball, not there. Gets a block, tries to get outside, tries to scramble, goes towards the sideline, but it'll be a yard or 2 short. Trying to get to the sticks, but it'll be marked down at the 49. It'll be 4th and 2 from midfield.
Yeah. Well, a non-district game, first game of the season, and you're starting to move the football, and it's 4th and 2.5. They're going to go for it.
So the Rangers will roll the dice here. The ball had gone out of bounds. We get a timeout. So the clock had stopped at 4:57. We've got a timeout on the field. The Rangers trail the Rebels 3-0. Still first quarter action from Ranger Stadium. We're back after this timeout.
Chicken Express is the place for legendary chicken tenders, the freshest sides, and the best sweet tea in Texas, Chicken E Sweet Tea. Let's give a big thank you to the Brown family for supporting all the high schools in the area for over a decade. Dine in, drive up, or drive through. We'll see you at Chicken Express.
As we're back to Ranger Stadium, the scene is this. We're a little past the midway point of the first quarter, 4:57 to go in the opening frame. The Rebels, who scored on their first possession by field goal, lead at 3-0. The Rangers on the move have moved from their own 16 to the 49, where they face a 4th down and 2 after a Levi Williams scramble for a little bit. So that's the situation.
I guess Coach Larry Hill want to have a little bit of a gut check right in the first quarter.
Okay, I'm not sure what they had planned before that, but Gilliam had gone out in that formation to maybe a quick kick, and I don't know, but this time it looks like he's not on the field, so Williams has it in his hands. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Williams takes the snap. It's a designed run, and they have read it, and they are there. The Rebel defense all went right to that spot that he started to run to, and they were ready for it, and it's turnover on downs. Ball will be spotted at the 48, so again the Rebels start in Ranger territory.
Yeah, there was just nothing there for Williams. With Javon White and Romeo Martinez did a nice job of just stuffing and actually blowing the blockers back into the backfield. Levi Williams really did not have a chance to get around the end. It's a good job by the defensive line there for the Rebels.
So the Rebels will go 1st and 10 from the Ranger 48. Hinojosa snaps, wants to throw, had a man in the flat, now wants to go long. It is Fungi, kind of pushed off that time as he threw the ball up the field.
Well, that is a huge mismatch. If you're looking at Fungi, who's 6'5", and of course is the would-be defensive man is Cullen Betsby at 5'10", so I would throw it to him as well. It's almost like a basketball pass.
Beasley that time almost took a forearm to get knocked down, and still the ball was overthrown. This time a handoff to Trailer, gets a couple of yards, maybe a 2, so it's 3rd and 8 from the 46 of Smithson Valley.
Yeah, Zoe on the tackle that time, filled it very nicely from his middle linebacker position.
Talk about the defensive line if this drive continues. Hopefully it won't. We'll talk about them next time. Anyway, it's 3rd and 8. Hinojosa takes shotgun snap. Straight drop back. Wants to throw across the middle. Throw, catch. Acosta makes the catch and gets into Ranger territory near the 21-yard line. Decent coverage on the play, but a great throw that only Acosta could get with his tall frame.
Well, Felix Hinojosa had all the time in the world to be able to wait for the receiver to get open and dragging across that zone defense in front of the safety. So that was credit to the offensive line there of the Rebels, giving them time to throw.
So 1st and 10 from the Ranger 21. Hinojosa will keep it on a little delay like a quarterback draw. He'll get across the 20 to the 19 before he's dragged down to by several defenders, including Tanner Hobeck, a junior defensive end, and it's 2nd down and 8.
Another quarterback draw designed for Hinojosa to try to take it up the middle. And again, even though they're up-tempo spread style of offense, the quarterback is like another running back.
Hinojosa to Trailer, right tackle. Gets popped a couple of times, but falls forward to the 16. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Good job by the defense that time to rally. Trey Moore was one of those in on the tackle.
Yeah, Greg Eggleston was the other one coming up from his linebacker position and really met him in the hole and did a nice job for no gain.
3rd and 5, a bad snap, a good throw out to the edge, caught, and we'll see if he gets enough yardage. It's Christine Romero, a sophomore receiver. Looks like he's marked short at about the 17. It'll be 4th and 1 as the 16 is the yard to go.
Rangers were in the zone defense, and the corner gave such a large cushion. It's an easy pass and catch for a 1st down. You got to come up and press them when you're in the red zone like that, and they just gave him too much cushion to throw.
So 4th and 1 this time. The Rebels will go for it. They have a yard to go. Hinojosa has Hall, one of his running backs, and Trailer, 2 receivers to the right. Trailer goes in motion. Hinojosa will keep it, and he'll fall across the 10 for a 1st down.
Yeah, Trailer went in motion to try to drag a linebacker out of the middle, and then quarterback Hinojosa just takes it, fakes it like he's going to pass, and runs up the middle where the vacancy of the linebacker is, and it was enough for 3 yards. Exactly what they wanted out of play for 1st down.
Hobeck had the tackle for the Rangers, who have 1st and goal now from the 10. Again, a short snap, and there's whistles, so procedure against the Rebels.
Back them up 5 yards. You know, right now you sense that Midland Lee's offense has kind of been in a rhythm and a tempo since the beginning of the first possession.
Well, they've been running downhill in positive territory the whole game. They haven't had anything to battle with, bad mojo on you. Everything's been going forward for them, and they've been very effective.
Yeah, and a short field of play to do it in, too.
Yeah. So Hinojosa, 1st and goal from the 15, wants to throw, has Trailer out in the flat. If he can beat a man, and he doesn't. There was 1 man to beat, and 3 men tackled him. Zoig, Eggleston, and Sill were all there to knock him down.
That's good defense. When you're in the red zone and your back's against the goal line, the defense has been rising up. That's good defensive pursuit. Gain tackle, that's what you have to do. Trailer had nowhere to go.
So, as the play clock goes under 15, 2 receivers to the left. Hinojosa waits for the snap, little bit of motion to the right. Looks to the right, throws it to the flat. Intended for, but incomplete, as he was looking for one of his backup receivers. This time, Shermer Davis, listed as a backup quarterback, a sophomore. Good-looking athlete, but he couldn't pull that in. Good coverage on the play on this time by Cullen Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley.
Good coverage.
I really thought he had a beat on the break on the football. I thought he was going to intercept it.
I thought he
could have
too.
gone pick 6 on that one.
Yeah, that would have been. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 15. Hinojosa wants to run. Now he throws it late. Little contact at the end zone, but I think that Fungi wanted to draw a penalty that time and kind of went down on a bump, and it goes incomplete. It's 4th down, and they'll have to kick another field goal.
Well, that's good defense, and that was a bad pass that time by Felix Hinojosa. It was too tall. And, if you got someone who's 6'5" and you throw it, but you got to throw it so where he can get it.
It's his inexperience costing that time, because he saw pressure and he wanted to run, and he realized I can't run that far against this defense. Here's the field goal try. This one's up, and it's no good as it goes wide to the left. And the Rangers defense comes up with another stop. So twice now the Rebels have been in the red zone, and twice they've had to kick field goals, and they're 1 of 2 kicking field goals, so it's still 3-0 with 50 seconds to go in this opening quarter.
I'll tell you what, the first quarter has been all Midland Lee Rebels on the side of the Smithson Valley side of the field.
Everything's been on this side.
Larry Hill's got to be pretty pleased right now with only down 3 points.
I couldn't agree with you any more. I mean, we've played this whole game in front of us, and we're at about our booth's about the 35, between the 30 and 35 yard line of the right side of the field. And the Rangers now come out from their own 20, where they'll have 1st and 10. 2 receivers kind of tight to the right, a tight end on the left, 2 backs in the backfield. Now motion. They'll fake this, and he'll throw off his back foot to Radabaugh. Off his hands, goes incomplete. Levi trying to improvise that time and throw the ball up, hoping Radabaugh could go get it, but it is incomplete.
It was a good pass. Williams had time to wait for Radabaugh to make his move on the post pattern, and Radabaugh was in front of 23, Damian Garcia, the cornerback, but Damian had just enough to jump up and that tipped the ball away, looked like.
And when the ball hit Radabaugh's hands, he wrapped him up quick and did everything he could to make it an incompletion. 2nd and 10. Williams takes the shotgun snap, hands it off. This is Frash. Gets a couple of yards. Give him 4 up to the 24. It'll be 3rd down and 6. As that running the ball inside the tackles is tough going tonight.
It's going to be real tough going because of those big horses up there. Again, we can't reiterate the size of the front 3 defensive people for Midland Lee. 265, 295, and another 245. That's your front 3. It's hard to move them.
Williams has 2 backs to his right, a receiver either way. Straight drop back, has pressure, spins out of it, has to move on the roll towards the number on the left. Now tries to get away from it again, throws it across the middle. Bad, almost picked off. Carl Taylor had it through his hands. It'll go incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Levi that time, I thought when he turned back to the right, if he had kept going that way, he might have been able to drag and continue the play a little bit longer. He saw a receiver, overthrew him, and almost got it picked off.
Yeah, that's trying to make something happen when you're Levi Williams, and that's great, but you just can't try to force the football in and turn the football over again.
And what's the football rule? Don't throw it late over the middle.
Exactly. That's basically what he tried to do.
That's the end of the quarter. The Rangers trail the Rebels 3-0. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Smoky Mo's is great. You can feed a whole bunch of people on a little bit of money. It's perfect for Friday nights.
My boy's a football player, and this fills him up. The brisket is awesome.
I like brisket and sweet brisket. I can't say it.
They have the best turkey, brisket, sausage in all of Comal County.
I agree, and the kids love it too.
You're never going to play offensive line for the Rangers eating salad. Come get some beef.
Get your guns up!
Go Rangers! And we're back to Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley High School against the Midland Lee Rebels. The Rangers at the start of the second quarter trail 3-0 and have to punt. Gilliam back in punt formation. Tries a little soccer-style end-over-end kick. This one a little bit better than the first one. Gets a Ranger bounce across midfield to the 38-yard line, where the Rebels will start 1st and 10 about 9 seconds into the second quarter.
That pretty much what Coach Hill was wanting to see out of the punter, and that's when that rugby style tried to get the end-over-end effect. It rolled another 10, 12 yards when it first hit the turf, and that's kind of what you're looking for when you're running to your right with a right-footed punter, and you want to kick it, kind of kick it like a soccer style, rugby style. It only goes about 10 feet up above the ground. It doesn't go very high.
Remember his first punt when we had the penalty?
Yes.
It was a high arching, spiraling football that looked like a real punt. I want to see that again.
That's not what they don't want him to catch the ball and have a chance to return it. That's why you're doing
I
this.
understand. Hinojosa shotgun snap. Gives it to Traylor off the right edge. Has one man to beat. It's Sill. He gets past him. Now into the open, across midfield, across the 30 or the 45, pardon me, to the 43, where he'll be chased out of bounds. Traylor showing why. As a junior, he ran for 1,433 yards and 18 touchdowns because he is quick.
Yeah, he made something out of nothing out of that last play.
Hinojosa again. This time keeps it after faking it to Traylor, and it gets popped. A couple of different defenders there. Down at the bottom is Zoig, who met him in the hole and knocked him down, and then Gibbons came in to help.
Again, zone read style of offense for Midland Lee, and that quarterback, Hinojosa, is nothing more than another running back, so you have to account for him by one of the linebackers. That time, Zoig did a nice job of eyeing the quarterback. He kept the football, and Zoig was in position to make the tackle.
Hinojosa wants to throw it out to the edge, knocked away by the defender there. That's the former running back, Nick Aiken, got a hand in there. They were looking for Fungi again, and Nick kind of reached from behind and knocked it away.
It was a great job that time by Aiken, and if Fungi would have gotten the football, it might not have looked so pretty for Smithson Valley, but that was a great play by Aiken.
You're right, because if he catches it, there's nobody between him and the other side.
Yeah.
Hinojosa wants to throws it long, this time intended for Acosta, who can't get to it. Acosta had got past the defender, Ethan Sill, but the ball was overthrown on 3rd and long. Now it's 4th and long from their own 42. Midland Lee will have to punt for the first time tonight.
And we'll see Fungi as the punter as well. And, I just noticed he has red or orange shoes on, and no one else does.
Well, it's because
those soccer shoes? I don't know.
It's because he's Loic Fungi.
Well, he's 6'5" and 205 and runs a 4.440. You can wear the kind of shoes you want.
They moved on the offensive line, and there's a penalty flag. So now he'll punt from the 47-yard line. So Fungi to punt, decent snap, gets some pressure, kind of an end-over-end kick as well, angling for the sideline. The Rangers will watch it go out of bounds. Almost an error judgment that time by the Smithson Valley Mason Livingston, the junior free safety, back to receive the punt. Almost touched it as it goes out of bounds as he got awful close to it. But the Rangers will start from their own 5-yard line on this attempt with 10:54 to go in the second quarter. It's 3-0 Midland Lee. So the Ranger huddle will make its way out. I think one of the keys I had to the game was the Ranger defense creating short fields for the offense, and it's been just the opposite. Midland Lee's Rebel defense has been creating opportunities. Williams out of the shotgun with 2 receivers to the right. Hands it off. It's Franco, and he doesn't get any room at all as he's hit and pushed back.
Trey, that was Javian White, the nose guard on that one. Yeah, forward progress, though, kept Franco all the way up to about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he got back to the line of scrimmage before he got knocked back.
Wow. There just wasn't a whole lot there, Tony, and he's just hard moving those big guys.
So Williams on 2nd and 10 from his own 5. Looks to the sideline for the play adjustment. Talks to his offensive lineman. Now their linebackers want to press. Williams gives it to Franco going left. Boy, they're going through all blocking all together. Anything going out to the edge, their pursuit is running right through the line.
Well, if you can't go right up the middle, then you try to go off tackle. And you go off tackle, they got so much speed from the linebackers, they're able to scrape up in there and make the stop. And again, that was actually for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah.
So this is tough. This is tough now for Smithson Valley. You don't want to make a mistake down here in this part so close to your end zone, but yet you don't have a play to really get you out at this point.
Williams wants to throw. Looking and incomplete. Chandler Cole, the junior receiver, was the intended. Good coverage on the play by Carl Taylor, their junior free safety.
Hopefully Gilliam can get a good punt at this position and get a good roll out of it too. Maybe flip this field. That's been the problem with Smithson Valley. They haven't been able to get any type of momentum or rhythm on offense and flip the field. It's all been defense, and you're back against the goal line.
They just need that 1+ drive.
They do.
To put him in position.
Right now they've only had 1 first down, first quarter.
Gilliam, end over end try coming to the right, and it goes awkwardly out of bounds. So the Rebels will have it inside Smithson Valley territory around the 30-yard line.
Well, again, when you start at your opponent's 30-yard line, there's a lot of offense you could probably think about doing, whether it be running the ball or play action pass or try to get your hands and your number 1 receiver, Loic Fungi. Right now, Midland Lee is in control of this ball game, and for Smithson Valley, they got to do something on defense to create a turnover. If they can get a turnover right about now, you start stopping that momentum.
Here's Traylor around the right edge, gets a block on the edge. Now gets brought down as the pursuit defense stayed with him. Good job of turning the ball upfield.
That's Eggleston. Eggleston, excuse me.
Yes. So it'll be 2nd and 11 as they actually give him a loss of about a yard. Hinojosa keeps it this time on the option. And if not for a tackle down the field by Livingston, he'd still be going.
That zone read that time by Hinojosa was just beautifully ran. When 99 Trey Moore, the end, came down on the dive, it opened up around the corner, so Hinojosa just pulls the ball out and scoots around the corner for about 9 yards. It's a good-looking play.
They had voided that side of the field, too, so that made it easy to see. This time he hands it to Traylor.
Great penetration that time. That was Will Gibbons getting in the backfield from his defensive tackle position. Nice job for a loss.
So three consecutive RPOs.
Yep.
All from the same scenario where there's not much on the right. All your receivers are on the left. And that time, again, Will Gibbons comes up with a big play.
4th down, and they still have their offense on the field. I guess they don't feel very confident about their field goal kicker, so they feel like we might as well go for it. We're down here at the Smithson Valley. We're almost in the red zone.
Not from this distance, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think he can make it from this distance.
And then I think they're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, don't think about it.
7:29 to go here in the second quarter. The Rebels lead the Rangers 3-0 in a low-scoring affair. We'll be back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Since I've had GVTC installed in my office, I've been able to get a lot more done. With fiber speeds up to a gig a second, I can turn in all my schoolwork on time, keep up on social media, and watch game film with no interruptions.
Whoa, we haven't even played that game yet.
Yeah, it's that fast.
Enjoy uninterrupted entertainment with your favorite apps through our professionally installed GVTC Wi-Fi home network. Log on to gvtc.com to sign up today.
Back to Ranger Stadium as the Rangers look at a 4th and about 5. The Rebels going to go for it again. Hinojosa takes the snap, wants to throw, looks to the edge and throws it incomplete. Oh my. Looking for his sophomore that they brought in earlier. That's Shermer Davis. The sophomore backup quarterback, and
I don't think that play had a chance to succeed from the get-go. It's like everyone went off a different count. And Hinojosa was he wasn't even ready to make the pass, and Center wasn't ready to even receive the pass. So
and you look at again an inexperienced quarterback who hasn't played much, his first start, and you call a timeout and still have trouble.
Yeah.
Again, first game, let's not be rude or anything, but that's a problem when you call a timeout and still can't come out and do what you want to do.
I'm just surprised that they weren't looking for fungi on that. That's just an easy way to throw it and try to catch it with a sight.
I'm not so sure an RPO, though, doesn't work. Here's a reverse and a pass.
Wide open.
This is the backup quarterback, and there's face guarding, which isn't a call in high school football. As the defense, is that Carl Taylor that came in there and got in front of the receiver. That's Luke Gombert, who threw that pass lining up at receiver on the receiver reverse, and it goes incomplete.
Well, the play should have worked. Gombert wasn't able to get enough oomph behind the pass because the receiver was wide open. And would have scored. But, it's just the way it goes. A double reverse pass is a play that maybe can get you out of this hole and change the momentum.
And that's what Larry Hill thought.
Yep.
Now Williams will have a keeper, but he's bottled up right away. Telling you what, quarterback draws right now.
Javian White, again.
There's not a lot of room in there.
No, there's not. Javian White got such great penetration. Didn't look like that Levi even had a chance to set his feet to throw the football. So when you got a quarterback that's happy feet back there and he can't step into his throws, and he can't plant, it makes it for he's not going to be very accurate with his passes and we're disruptive. And he got sacked.
2 receivers either way. Williams wants to throw. Left sideline, has Radaball on the run. Throws it incomplete. Just a tad in front of him. Decent coverage on the play by Garcia. And it's 4th down.
Well, he was one-on-one with Garcia, so you would think throwing it to Radaball, he's got a 50-50 chance of getting it.
Right.
Unfortunately, that time the pass was just a little inside, too much inside. Yeah.
So Gilliam back on to punt. As I think I can honestly say at this point of the game, our punting stats have probably been the most viewed. This one a little bit better. Kind of wobbly, but out to the right. If he gets a bounce, and he does, it'll be his best punt of the night. Stops at the 30 from the 25. That's a 45-yard punt for Jeremiah Gilliam. And for the first time tonight, they start in their own territory, or at least close to it.
Not bad. And again, that's how that rugby style of punting technique, that's how it works. The receiver can't field the ball, and you get such a positive roll out of it, and so it's a great offensive play, and it flips the field. And that's what the Rangers need at this point, just flip the field of play. Now it's up to the defense to hopefully get a 3 and out and get it back in your offensive hands in great and decent field position.
As we near the midway point of the second quarter, here's a quick look out to the edge. Hinojosa throws it, complete to Sheldon Bass, the first catch of the night for the senior receiver who had 39 receptions last year and 6 touchdowns. Short gain, just 2 yards. It's 2nd down and 8. Hinojosa again, quick snap, gives it to Traylor. Gets some surge from the offensive line and moves the ball ahead to make 3rd down more manageable. They spot him at the 42, so it'll be 3rd down and 3 there.
3rd down and 3. Look for Fungi, who is one-on-one with Trey Aiken on the far side of the field.
Hinojosa, now they move. Their offensive line's left tackle stepped out on a pass play.
That was created by the defensive line making a shift, though. That was a good strategy by the defensive coaches, telling his defensive line to make a shift, shifting to the formation, and when they did that, it drew the offensive lineman off.
So instead of 3rd and 3, it is 3rd and 8. Hinojosa, same formation. Calls out signals, takes the snap. It's a low snap. He's looking right, has a man. It's Fungi, and he overthrows him by about 5 yards. Nick Aiken on coverage. That time, Hinojosa just threw it too far, and Fungi couldn't get to it. It's 4th down, and they'll have to punt.
You know, Tony, as you sense the game right now, it's starting to change a little bit. And Smithson Valley, the Rangers just trying to, they're slow, methodically changing the tempo, changing the dynamics of this contest. And right now they'll get some decent field position. Their defense has come up 3 and out. That's what they needed.
Now's the time for a big play in the kicking game. Block a punt, return a punt, make something happen here. Pressure comes, they don't get to him. A nice kick, fielded by Livingston. No blockers in front of him, just hang on to the ball as he takes it up to about the 40 on a nice return of about 8 yards. A nice job by
well, Fungi just barely got that punt off, Tony.
Mason Livingston, yes.
There were 2 Rangers right at his foot.
They took great angles, though, so they didn't get called for roughing the kicker, but they were close. They were really close. So the Ranger offense with 5:13 to go in the second quarter, the offense that really hasn't done much tonight, it's time for them to get to work. Let's see what Larry Hill and his staff have come up with. Shotgun formation. They'll fake the sweep. Here's Levi, has some room up the middle. Nice job of interior blocking that time. Freed the senior quarterback. Good enough for a first down across midfield, a gain of 11.
Nice job with using the RPO method. He just saw what was available, kept the ball himself, and went right up the middle where the linebackers were taking their pass drops because Smithson Valley's formation was spread them out. So it worked beautifully.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. A couple of running backs to the right of Williams, who takes the snap, wants to keep it himself, gets banged and knocked down, and then gets hit again.
Yeah, Tracy Mackey that time was in the backfield before. Right after, I think, Williams got the snap from the football. He got in so quick.
He didn't even have a chance to look up.
No, Mackey blew that play up from the get-go where Levi didn't have a chance to even get upfield.
So a couple of different receivers come in and out for the Rangers. Quick huddle. See if it's a quick snap. Williams takes the snap, wants to throw. Has a man going to the sideline. It's Radabaugh. Just as the ball gets to his hands, it gets knocked away. Good defense that time, again by, looked like Garcia got there for help.
Yeah, Radabaugh had his hands on the football. It wasn't it would have been a hard catch, but he did get his hands on the football. Just couldn't bring it down. But I want to give some props to the offensive line that time. Logan Smith, Everett Abbott, Devin Smith, Taylor Brooks, and Roland Copeland. They did a nice job of giving Williams enough time to let the play develop and then be able to plant his feet and deliver a nice pass.
So Williams on 3rd and 15. Has some pressure, avoids it, gets rid of the ball. Boy, he had Chris Rivera, but too much pressure didn't allow him to step into it.
Again, Tracy Mackey, the defensive strong end, and that 34 defense, number 44, was in the backfield and really had his paws all over Levi Williams. So he wasn't able to step into the throw and hit his receiver who was open, dragging across the middle in front of the safety. So that was a missed opportunity right there.
Indeed it was. 3:57 to go, second quarter. And somebody calls a timeout. Might have been Midland Lee this time.
It was.
So we'll take a timeout with them. It's 3-0. Lee's Rebels are on top. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. We're back after this timeout.
Let's go. Hurry up. Get the play in.
Okay, here we go. Left retainer. Headgear. No popcorn. Straight teeth.
That's a good call. Headgear? Straight teeth?
Yeah. Good call.
What's going on here? I thought I left you in charge. It was a good call.
It was a great call. It was a really good call.
Okay. Run the play.
And the Rangers are back in punt formation. Gilliam will be the kicker for the Rangers. Good snap. Good kick. This is a spiraling one, headed for the sideline and goes out of bounds inside the 20. We'll see where they mark it as he keeps going. Keeps going inside the 10. And they mark him out at the 10. The ball went out at the 10, so finally the Rangers changed the field position in a very positive way.
Yeah, again, credit to punting team that time as far as flipping the field and giving the Rangers some field position to operate with. Now again, Coach Hill's calling on his defensive staff, we've got to get 3 and out here. And that way we can get some better field position on the punt and maybe take it in for some points before we end this first half.
3:51 to go, second quarter. Midland Lee up 3-0. The Rebels from their own 10-yard line. Ranger defense just itching to make a big play. Hinojosa, RPO. Actually, it's not Hinojosa, but Trailer keeps it. He gets out of bounds across the 20. That'll be good enough for a first down. It's Mikey Serrano, the backup quarterback, a sophomore who's on the field at quarterback right now, and did the RPO handoff to Trailer, who got room on the left side. So Serrano in for this series. Same thing again. And this time, Trailer gets more yardage before he's brought down by Sill across the 25, maybe to the 27. That'll be make it a 2nd and 4.
Well, the defense has really got to do something now to stop this zone dive to Trailer. Whenever your free safeties is making the last couple, 2-3 tackles, that's a bad sign. That means the running back's getting to the second level too often. Serrano kept it.
Yep. He's got some speed down the sideline, across midfield, the 40, across the 30 before he's finally shoved out of bounds. Livingston got the final push, but all of a sudden field position back in favor of the Rebels.
Well, Colton Ellers had an angle on him and just couldn't really just make the tackle. I thought for sure Ellers was going to get him after about an 8-yard gain. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to wrap him up, and now you got a huge gain now for Serrano.
Serrano to Taylor. This time he's stuffed up, but he bounces off the tacklers. He gets loose across, well, he gets a couple of yards before he's brought down by, that's Romano, Christian Romano. So a gain of a couple makes it 2nd down. We'll call it 2nd and 9, a gain of 1.
Will Gibbons, defensive tackle, and also 94 Sam Garibay had Trailer in the backfield, but just couldn't wrap him up.
The senior running back is everything he's been built up to be. Serrano throws it out to the edge. A catch is made by Acosta, now takes it outside. There's a holding penalty, I think, going to be called on Fungi as there's a flag. The catch takes the ball down to the 22, but I think it's going back. Holding is the signal.
Yeah, it's Fungi holding out there. I think it was Aiken. Aiken could not get off the block because he was getting held to make the tackle.
Yeah. So instead of a big gain bringing up 2nd or 3rd and short, it's now 2nd down and about 15 from the 34.
Again, Larry Hill's calling on a defense to make a big play here. Maybe a turnover would be nice at this point.
Serrano wants to throw. Throwing it up for Fungi down the sideline. And good coverage. I think that's Nick Aiken again.
Nick Aiken, yeah.
Got his hands in there and knocked the ball away from Fungi's hands, who had a chance to get the ball but couldn't pull it in.
Well, the ball was a little bit underthrown, and so Nick Aiken's only 5'9", and of course Fungi's 6'5". If the ball would have been a little higher, where only Fungi can catch it, that might have been a reception. But fortunately for Smithson Valley, the pass was too low.
So Serrano again, quarterback in this whole drive, takes the snap, looking left, wants to throw, has some pressure, and he's spun down. Now he throws the ball free. Is it incomplete or is it? No, they'll call him down.
They called him down.
They called him down. Great work by the defensive line. Trey Witcher is the one who brought him down clear out at the 45, and the Ranger defense has really stepped up.
That's a huge play, Tony. Richard coming in from his defensive line position, pressured the quarterback, had his hands around him but didn't let him go. And he had, I guess it was enough of the tackle for Serrano's knee to touch the turf. That plays dead, down right there. Huge, huge turn of event right here.
So punt formation for the Rebels. They're at the Ranger 45. It's Fungi who will punt. And now there's delay a game. Wow. Play clock ran out.
So they had first on the 29. Now it's fourth at the 50.
Yep. Fungi with Livingston deep for the Rangers. Looks like the Rangers will bring everybody, and they almost got there again, but Fungi got rid of it quick this time. And the low line drive will get a good roll, and the Rangers will be deep in their own territory again, about the 7 or 8 yard line. So with 1:13 to go, we'll see what the Rangers come out with here, but this is the final series of the second half where you hope field position would be a good one. This one is certainly not. No. Probably just want to get into the locker room, don't you?
I think so. A minute 13 left. You just don't want to make a mistake down here and get the ball right back to Midland Lee.
I don't think they have any timeouts left if the scoreboard is correct. So I'm not sure we'll take a knee. In fact, I'm not saying that at all, but right. You don't have to punt if you don't throw an incomplete pass. Williams has 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Now motion. They'll give it to Franco up the middle. He won't get much, maybe a yard. Defensive line continues to batter the running backs that try to go up the middle. That one again looked like it's the same old guy every time, isn't it? Javian White?
Yeah.
Mackey's played almost the whole game at his left end position.
Yeah, right now, Tony, I think Coach Hill's his strategy is just to milk this clock as much as he can.
Yeah.
And get out of this half just being down 3-0 because he's had very little offensive productivity the first half.
Without a doubt. Williams, high snap, hands it off. And coming around the right edge is Jacob Fortone. They get a couple of yards out to the 9, give him 4. And that'll probably be the last play of the half.
Yeah.
As the Rangers will go to the locker room down 3-0 here on a low-scoring season opener. The Midland Lee Rebels will go to the locker room up 3-0. The Rangers will trail at 3-0. And it is halftime at Ranger Stadium. So before we go to break, not what we expected, right?
No. We were really excited. We'll probably see some offensive fireworks the first half. And we just saw very little from Smithson Valley and as far as offensive productivity. And we really didn't see a whole lot from Midland Lee, except they just had really good field position. And they were able to get, kick that the field goal their first possession. That's the only points on the board. I mean, it's like a baseball game, 3-0.
So as the band makes its way out onto the field, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back with halftime festivities as the Rangers trail the Rebels 3-0 here on the Ranger Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal ISD. The Comal Independent School District is a fast-growing and innovative district with more than 23,000 students. Families are attracted to Comal ISD because of its family values, neighborhood schools, and safe environments. Come to Comal ISD. And Chicken Express, home of world-famous chicken tenders and legendary Chicken-y sweet tea. Dine in, drive up, or drive through. We'll see you at Chicken Express. And Physicians Premier. Our conveniently located freestanding ERs are fully equipped and expertly staffed so you get the best care closest to home. At Physicians Premier, you'll find faster service, friendly doctors, and a comfortable level like no other. And Texas Regional Bank. Buying or building a home? We have construction and mortgage loans to help. For all your personal or business banking needs, Texas Regional Bank. The people you know. And Texas 46, A home-style hill country restaurant has been in the Spring Branch community for over 30 years, where the focus is on a Lone Star favorite, slow-cooked barbecue. We can cater or host your next large event, too. Welcome to Texas 46.
Please welcome the Smithson Valley Color Guard as they perform a feature routine to Pretty Fly. The Ranger band and color guard will introduce their 2018 UIL marching show entitled Experiment 78070. Music will include Dance in the Cloud by Nelson Klein, Symphony No. 1 by Samuel Barker, Adagio from Spartacus by Aaron Khachaturian, Luck Be a Lady by Frank Lesser, and Symphony No. 5 by Dmitry Shostakovich. Tonight, the band will perform part 1 with music from Altos from Zarathustra by Richard Strauss. Please enjoy part 1 of Experiment 78070.
We've got spirit? Yeah, we do. Fill up your tank and support the Rangers, too. When you get gas, look for the Rangers Spirit Pump because Pit Stop and Fishers are donating a percentage of sales from that pump to the Smithson Valley Athletic Booster to support our student athletes. Get gas here and fill up the Booster Club's bank. Here's where you can find your spirit pumps. When you see it, pull up and fill up, Rangers.
And we're back to Ranger Stadium, just less than a minute away from the second half kickoff, we hope. And I think we're about ready to go.
I think we're going to see a different kind of football team in the second half. What do you think?
I certainly hope we see a team dressed with blue pants and blue shorts and blue helmets that looks different than they did in the first half, because I know the coaches probably said some things like we need to look better in the second half.
Yeah, we're better than this.
Yes.
They are a better team than this.
They are. Just guns up, is that what this is?
Guns up, Rangers. If you're up in West Texas, that'd be Texas Tech Red Raiders, but we're not. We're in the hill country. So that's the Smithson Valley Rangers sign, guns up.
Mason Reed will get ready to put a toe to it. for the first time tonight. His end-over-end kick with the wind at his back will sail through the end zone. And the Rebels will start 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Well, it's a tale of two halves. That's the game of football a lot of times, and so we'll see. It's a whole new ball game coming out. Your defense starts off. They can set the tone for the Rangers coming out and going 3 and out against Midland Lee and getting the football back in its offensive hands. But capping a little bit again for the first half, Tony, the defense didn't play all that bad. They just were in a bad situation, being in their ends of the field all the time.
That is correct. Cornerbacks are Jalen Nutt and Nick Aiken. Livingston and Sill are the safeties, as it is Serrano who comes out at quarterback. And they're going to get a delay of game.
Yep.
They couldn't even get a team out to start the second half. Did they call a timeout first?
They called a timeout right before it went 0-0.
They got a timeout. Unbelievable. You come out of halftime and you can't even get your first unit on the floor. We'll keep it here, as this is the strangest waste of a timeout I've seen in a long time.
This may come back to haunt them, because that's just not, you don't need to do something like that. I imagine coming out of the halftime tunnel, and it wasn't clear which quarterback Coach Hartman wanted to see, Hinojosa or Serrano, and finally Serrano came trotting out to the field. Then he started to trot off the field. He was confused when I should have been out there or not.
As a unit, they appear to be confused, but I don't know that we wouldn't say the Rangers have looked confused tonight too in the season opener. It's 3-0. Midland Lee on top as we start the second half. The Rebels with the ball from their own 20. Serrano gives it to Traylor. He's golfed in the backfield, as the Ranger defense was all over that one. Corey McElroy, the strong side linebacker, one of the first ones there. That gets back to the line of scrimmage. This Traylor, it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's a fired up defense right now. It's starting to just to set the tempo the second half by being in the backfield and making a good stop. Also, number 94, Garibay, was in on that tackle too.
Hayden Hall, their fullback, just limped off, so they've got another receiver out there now. So 2 receivers to either side. Serrano takes the snap, looks, has a man across the middle. Now it's a comeback route to Fungus, who can't hang on to it. Fungi, pardon me, had the ball a little bit low, couldn't engulf it, and it goes incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10.
Well, again, it should have been caught. The pass was a little low from Serrano, and again, he had plenty of time to throw the football. He had his feet planted. He just basically underthrew him, kind of almost like a shortstop.
Point you made at halftime, though, is the wind has really picked up, so he's throwing into the wind. Might have had a little something on it if he doesn't have enough zip on the ball. So 3rd and 10. 3 receivers to the right. The lone tailback is to the right. Now Serrano, single coverage on the left side, intended for Sheldon Pass. Only the second time they've thrown his way tonight. This one is broken up and incomplete. Ranger defense does a good job on the opening drive of the second half, something they weren't able to do in the first half.
Well, you say broken up. It could have been intercepted by Jalen Nutt, number 19, who had inside position on the receiver. And again, Serrano underthrowing the receiver a little bit. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's thrown into the wind. The nose of the football is diving down a little bit. And it could have been intercepted by Nutt.
He doesn't have the strongest arm. We know that. And he's having trouble with the wind here in the second half. Now they're punting into the wind. Fungi, a low line drive. Won't get much of a roll, as it might get near midfield, but now all of a sudden the field position trait is going towards the Rangers here in the second half, as they'll start 1st and 10 from the Midland Lee 49.
Well, if you're Coach Larry Hill, this is how you draw up the second half going into this contest. Your defense goes out, 3 and out, getting your football in positive field position for your offense. Fantastic opportunity now for the offense to capitalize.
So the Rangers 1st and 10 from the 49 of Midland Lee. Levi Williams sends 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. A couple of backs to his left. Play clock at 15. Motion. And they give it to Rivera on a sweep left. Nothing there. He reverses field. Gets a block. Has one man to, well, he doesn't get away. Back to the line of scrimmage almost to the 50. That time their speed and pursuit just beat him to the corner on the wide receiver sweep.
Yeah, that play took too much time to develop, Tony. And you know, this Midland Lee defense is so fast and physical and athletic. You're just not going to beat them on something that takes a long time to get around the end. That thing was broken up really by number 27, Romeo Martinez, the defensive end.
So 2nd and 11. They'll fake it. Williams will keep it. Not much room as he gets engulfed at the 49 of the Rangers. And again, Javion White.
He's a load, Tony. He's a load. 295 pounds, 6'4", runs at 4.9 40 when you're that big. So he's extremely athletic. And you're running a 34 defense. He's basically taking on 2 gaps. So a blocker and a half maybe every play. And still he gets in the backfield to make a stop.
Boy, they're loading up the box. They rush 4. Williams has to scramble as they find some way to him. He throws it. The Radabaugh's got it across the 30. Finally brought down inside the 25-yard line. A nice pass play as Levi again throwing off the wrong foot, kind of one hop and throwing. It competes it to Radabaugh down the field for a first down.
Athletic play that time by Levi Williams, having to scramble for his life and finding Radabaugh dragging across the middle in front of the safeties and delivered a good pass, throwing off his back leg, like you said, Tony. That's hard to do, rolling to your right.
And that's a strong arm to get it there. Now Williams hands it off. A good-looking run that time.
Franco.
It is Franco. No, pardon me, that's Frash.
It's Frash.
Frash that time. And a gain of about 6 to the 19. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Rangers.
Notice the play calling and mixing it up and keeping the defense on his toes. They don't know what's going to happen. That's what you have to do.
They give it to Frash on the wide receiver sweep fake. He'll get near the first down yardage, but I think he'll be a little bit shy. Should be 3rd and 1.
Omar Pertil, the safety, number 6 came up and made a stop on that. But Frash is looking really good. He's picking and choosing his holes to run through, and that delayed kind of handoff in the backfield because there's such penetration by the front 3, so he can kind of juke and jive and pick his hole.
3rd and 1 from the 16. Williams gets the sign. Williams straight up the middle. I think he's got a first down. He'll get tackled by a bunch of white jerseys, but a first down run by the big senior quarterback.
Well, this is priority number 2 on my list, and that's when you're in the red zone, come away with points. Now Smithson Valley's in the red zone for the first time this game.
First time this
They
game.
need to get in the end zone with a touchdown, but you just got to come away with points.
Need a touchdown.
Yeah.
2 receivers to the right. Williams gives it to Frash up the middle. Gets dragged down before he can get away as he found a seam to the left to bounce it outside. A good job by the defender there. Isaiah Harvey, the senior rover, limited him to 1 yard. It's 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, also linebacker number 41, Michael Hanahosa, the linebacker, made a stop on that too. That time, Frank, Frash, he wants to bounce around and pick his hole. He didn't have anywhere to go that time.
So it's 2nd and 9 from the 13. First down markers at the 4. Williams keeps it, has a little bit of a seam. Will get to about the 10 and fall forward across to maybe the 8-yard line. Setting up a 3rd down and 4 on a powerful run by the senior quarterback. Good job by the offensive line to give him a little surge up the middle.
Yeah, he did. Good job. That time by the offensive line for Smithson Valley. Again, controlling the line of scrimmage and getting what the defense is giving you. I mean, you can't get in the end zone in every play, but just take what the defense is going to give you that time, enough for a few yards.
Receiver motion again, as that seems to be part of the pattern, and now somebody moved early, and that'll cost the Rangers. Instead of a 3rd down and 4, it'll be 3rd down and 9.
That changed the play call big time. 3rd and 9 is a tough call down in the red zone. That's probably the hardest play call to make is this one. 3rd and long in the red zone.
Actually, they'll say it's basically 3rd and 10 as we're back to the 14. Sideline sending in the signals. Play clock goes under 15. The huddle is broke at 11. Williams, 2 receivers right. Fakes it, now has a throw. Has a man across the middle. It was Rivera on the inside route. Radaball was behind him. Pass goes incomplete. It's 4th down, and here comes the field goal unit.
Well, Rivera was open on that early slant in. It's just that Williams had to throw over the defensive hands, and so he delivered the ball a little too high, and it was out of reach of Rivera. But he was open, dragging across the middle.
Mason Reed, who had 6 made field goals last year, make it 7, counting this one tonight, and all of a sudden it's a 3-3 game, like a pitcher's duel in the 6th inning. 6:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. We're tied at 3 here at Ranger Stadium, back after this timeout.
Come on in.
Hey, Coach. I'm here to try out for the Rangers mascot. I mean, what's better than the guy who Smithson Valley was named after?
Don't you mean Benjamin Smithson? You're Benjamin Franklin.
Smithson? Oh, that makes sense.
He was instrumental in founding this area in 1856. He was one of the first Rangers.
The first Ranger. What position did he play for you, Coach?
He was a Texas Ranger, a Western lawman.
I get it now. I like where this is headed. Be right back. Hey, Coach. How about another perfectly executed shameless plug while I'm gone?
If you need video production work, there's no finer organization than WIC Productions. It's who we trust for Rangers Network and game night scoreboard production at Ranger Stadium.
Well...
Oh, you nailed it.
Rangers we will be!
WIC Productions. Watching a video is just better than reading stuff.
And we're back at Ranger Stadium where Mason Reed waiting for the referee, the official, to give him the ball so he can kick off with 6:20 to go in the 3rd. It's a 3-3 game. I know those of you who are paying attention didn't expect this tonight because there were questions on offense on both ends, but there were also questions on defense.
Right.
And nobody thought we'd be in a scoreless shootout, basically, 3-3. Again, with the wind at his back, Mason Reed will send it sailing through the end zone. And there's a little bit of a scuffle as they come up the field, but the Rebels will start 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Well, again, I think there was some motivation talk in the halftime locker room for the Smithson Valley Rangers from the Ranger coaching staff, and that, tell you, the kids came out and they have responded so far, offensively and defensively. Now it's time for the defense to step up again, try to get 3 and out, get good, decent field position again from a punt, get it in your offensive hands. They finally found a little bit of rhythm now and know what they can do against the defense. So now it's time for the defense to step up.
Traylor takes the handoff, and the defensive line pretty much engulfs him. I'm seeing a pick 6 here in the midst of something they're going to try to do that may be a little fancier than Serrano can perform.
Well, Hinojosa's in there right now.
Hinojosa came back, you're right.
So, yeah, to your point, they may try to throw the football with Hinojosa.
2 backs in the backfield with Hinojosa, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Fungi is the single receiver out here, covered by Nick Aiken. It's a reverse. They've got some blocks. It is Acosta on the loose, on the sideline, finally pushed out of bounds, but not till he goes over midfield. And a good-looking play call by the Rebels there gives them some momentum as the Rangers have tied the score at 3.
Well, we saw some speed coming around the end that time. That's pure speed because the safety, Jackson Sinney, had the angle on him but just couldn't get outran.
Pass out to Fungi, breaks a tackle, spins away, then gets knocked down. Gain of about 5 to the 41. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Rebels.
Well, this is where you're going to see that up-tempo, spread up tempo really start to take its toll.
Yep. Trailer with the ball, bounces out, then tries to cut back in. There's a flag. We'll see what it is. Probably holding on the offensive line. Trailer had gotten a couple of yards up to the 39, setting up a 3rd and 3, but I bet this one's coming back.
Yeah, it's going to come back, and you know what? Props to number 99, defensive end Trey Moore. Again, I want to reiterate, this is his first varsity start.
Yep.
And he is playing really solid football here tonight. He did a good job playing off the block and forcing the play back in and was in on the tackle.
So 2nd and long, 2nd and 15. Now his little sprint receiver reverse. It is Acosta trying to use his legs and his speed again. It's across the 40, well, right at the 45 is where they'll mark it. So that looks like a 3rd down and 9 for the Rebels.
Good job by Christian Romano too. The corner came up. He actually had to shed a block and actually was able to cut the legs out of the receiver coming around the end.
So Romano and Betsy in at the corners now. 3rd and 9. Hinojosa, the snap bounces back to him. Here's pressure. He throws it out to Trailer, avoids one tackler, then popped by Betsy down at the 38, pardon me. That'll set up 4th down and about 3. I guess from the 39 is where they'll mark it. Good job by the junior corner, Cullen Betsy, his first varsity season.
Yeah, and it looks like Eggleston had a chance at it as well coming up from his safety position, but again, Betsy had to come up and make the tackle.
Well, I mean, Josh Trailer makes people miss regularly.
He's
doing it tonight, and you're right. Eggleston had a chance. He just didn't break down quick enough. So it looks like they'll bring the punt unit on. They've been going for most of these 4th downs. Neither team had any
they're trying to flip the field now.
Yeah.
They've lost the first half so far in the field position. This is where they can flip it. And they were going to take a delay of game to give them a little bit more room to punt the football.
With the wind in his face, if he doesn't get a hold of it, this one could come back. Rangers, no doubt, will want to rush the punt as well, as they've been putting pressure on Fungi and his punts. So Fungi back. Here's his quick kick, a low line drive. Will try to get a bounce, and it will get a Rebel bounce. The Rangers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 14. Mason Livingston was back and thought about coming up and trying to field it, but nothing good happens when you do that.
No, you can't field a rugby-style punt. It's a disaster waiting to happen trying to field that thing. Let it go.
Time for the offense to get some going here. The Rangers in a tie game, 3-3. 3:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Closing minutes of the 3rd period. The offense back on the field. 2 receivers go to the right. Levi Williams takes the snap, throws it to the edge. Rivera catches it, has a man to beat, makes him miss, then scoots up and then gets tackled. Their pursuit is unbelievable how quick they get to the ball.
Yeah,
and a gain of about a yard makes it 2nd and 9.
Well, Tony, you notice the plays that are slow and developing to the outside, they just don't work because they're so athletic on the outside linebackers and defensive ends that their pursuit to the football is so quick. It's going to be hard to make anything against them going out wide.
Williams gets the play call from the sideline as they break the huddle. A receiver goes either way. Williams with a pair of running backs in his backfield. This time he fakes a handoff, then drills a pass. Looks like it's caught. That looks to be Christine Romero, a sophomore receiver. Romero makes the catch up to the 21-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3. So an interesting play call here. In the closing minutes of the 3rd quarter in a 3-all game, it is 3rd and 3, so threes are wild right now.
Well, you want to take advantage of the wind at your back, too, this quarter. Interesting play call here.
Williams wants to pass, has a man, and he overthrows him. Oh, my. Levi had Romero that time.
That's Chandler Cole, number 84.
Well, I could look at the right set, couldn't I? Yes, it is Chandler Cole.
Cole was dragging across the middle. You know what? Levi just threw it a little too high. And again, he was scrambling to his left, trying to throw. He's right-handed, trying to throw across his body. It's very difficult to throw an accurate pass, particularly when you want to go on the outside shoulder to receiver. So it was a hard pass to make. It's kind of a bad play, actually, to call in that situation.
Gilliam's punt is a good one. It'll be fielded by Carl Taylor. Makes one man miss, but then the second one doesn't. And the Rebels will start from their own 40-yard line. Not a bad field position trade because you didn't get much offense. They're back to their 39 for 1st and 10 with 2 minutes exactly to go in the third quarter. Defense has to come up with another play. Actually, in a game where offenses aren't putting many points on the board, maybe it's time for the defense to come up with a score.
That's what I was about to say. I'm smelling a turnover, a pick six, a fumble, a scoop six, whatever you want to call it. The defense is going to have to put some points on the board here.
Traylor with the handoff. Oh, man, he scooted in a hurry. He's still out in the open across midfield over the 40. The ball is loose on the ground. I don't know that they're calling down, but
he's calling down.
That must be what it is. He gets to the Ranger 39, a gain of 22 yards.
There we go, up tempo too. This is where you catch the defense off.
Hinojosa keeps it after the fake to Traylor on the zone read. Good job by the defense to get there. That is Coleman'sberger, who came up and made the play initially. So it's 2nd and 10. Matt Coleman'sberger is a senior. Now a quick pass out to the edge. It is Bass who makes the catch, his first catch of the night. Sheldon Pass, his third time they've thrown to him, the first time he's caught it.
Looks like that it looks like the original first set of scripted plays.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing here right now.
Quick hand to Traylor, going outside, gets to the sideline, gets pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 2. He gets to the 27. It'll be 2nd and 8. As again, you're right, the Rebels have scripted this right down the field as they've made a march of about 35 yards now at the Ranger 26, pardon me.
26.
2nd and 8. Hinojosa, low snap, digs it out, now wants to throw. Has a man on the left sideline, and the defense smothers him. It was Bass. The ball was underthrown, or you might have had an interference penalty.
Well, lucky too, because number 13, Davis Shimard, who's a sophomore quarterback, he was also a receiver. He was wide open, Tony, going down the middle of the field where the safeties had split to double up on the outside receivers. He went down the middle on a 9 route and was wide open. Hinojosa was just not able to see it.
2 receivers to either side for Hinojosa now. They try to spread out the Rangers. Hinojosa wants to throw, has a man looking across the field. It's Bass, and he overthrows him again. He actually underthrew him last time. This time he overthrows him. Bass kind of shaking his head in disgust. He was bracketed a little better that time in coverage, and I don't think there was much of a hole to throw it to.
There wasn't much of an opportunity for him to make that pass, actually. If it would have been accurate, it would have been intercepted by the safety.
Smithson Valley defense, even with their quick hurry-up offense, is getting changed of the defensive line. So we've got fresh linemen in there again. So 4th down and 8. Hinojosa wants to throw, has it intended for Acosta at the goal line. Did he catch it? I believe he did. And the Rebels will have 1st and goal from the 1. Acosta was fighting for the ball with Ethan Sill, the senior safety. Couldn't get it away from him. Acosta comes down with the ball, falling down as he makes the catch. And it's 1st and goal for the Rebels.
Well, you got to give credit to Hinojosa. It's actually a good pass. You throw it on that outside back shoulder where the receiver has the only opportunity to catch the ball. And Acosta came up with it, although he was covered closely by Sill.
They moved early, so that won't be 1st and goal from the 1 anymore. It'll be 1st and goal from the 6. As penalties cost the Rangers earlier. See if the defense can rise up and make this a costly one.
This does change the play call, though. When you go back 5 yards, now it's 1st and 6, 6.5. It does change the play call.
Rebels looking to the sideline. And Hosa's got his play. 2 receivers to the left. Looks like he's got a tight end. And now the Ranger defensive line moves, and I think one of them jumped in the midst of it. That could be another procedure penalty, and now they'll be back to the 11.
It's what they did the first half, too. It's a shift by the defensive line. It causes one of the offensive line to lunge forward or to set back.
And that's the end.
What happened.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So with a little bit of defensive momentum now, the Rebels have it. 1st and goal now from the 11. We'll be back with the start of the 4th quarter after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Our family at Summer Hill Dental is part of the community, and we've either been Rangers, are Rangers, or soon will be. Dr. Matt Bayless and Summer Hill Dental have been taking care of Ranger smiles for over a decade because we are your Smithson Valley dentist.
Back to Ranger Stadium, where the Rebels have milked every ounce of that quarter break they could. They're finally coming out. Wait a second. The ball's back on the 6. I thought they had a procedure penalty that moved it back to the 11.
I thought so, too. That wasn't against the Rangers, was it?
No. Well, from the 6, it's 1st and goal. 2 receivers to the left. Hinojosa takes the snap, gives it to Traylor up the middle. He's got some surge, and he'll be brought down just outside the goal, maybe at the 1. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Well, you think they wouldn't get too fancy down here. Just give it to Traylor right up the middle again.
Their offensive line starting to assert itself a little bit. Here's another run to Traylor. Tries to push it out the right side and gets across the goal line. A touchdown for Midland Lee's Rebels.
Same play. This time Traylor just saw it was clogged up in the middle, so he took a step and juked it out to the outside and got just enough real estate to be able to get into the end zone.
John Thompson will come on for the extra point. It was his field goal in the 1st quarter that got them on the board initially. The snap, the hold, the kick. Didn't look pretty, but it went in. So it's 10-3. The Lee Rebels have taken a touchdown lead here in the opening minutes of the 4th quarter. Now the Rebels will kick off.
This is a good time for Coach Larry Hill to find out what kind of team he has right now. Being down in the 4th quarter by 7 points, but having almost the entire quarter to do something about it and see how these kids are going to respond to this adversity. Guarantees there's a great opportunity to see what his football team is going to be made up of.
And the Rangers here in the 4th quarter are going into the win.
Yep. Well, you've got a veteran quarterback in Levi Williams, and you've got a very good running back, 2 very good running backs that you can get the ball into. So there's opportunity to move the football against this Lee defense. We'll just have to figure out, again, keeping them off the defense off balance, mixing it up a little bit, and just move the chains. Don't go for big chunks, just move the chains, march down the field, put it in the end zone. Sounds easy, I know, but it's not. It's not.
Let's have a 1st down party.
Yeah. I like that attitude.
Fungi will kick off, this time with the wind at his back. And he puts a toe to it. It'll go through the end zone. Actually hit the goal post. Hit the goal post. Try to do that 10 times. So the Rangers will start from their own 20, 1st and 10. Where their offense finally needs to make some points.
Well, it seems like momentum's kind of shifted back into Midland Lee's corner, and so now it's time to rise up and take the responsibility and opportunity you have here and march down the field and just tie the score up. And there's plenty of time left in the 4th quarter. A lot of football left to play.
There's
so
a lot of football.
You don't have to get it all right now. That's my point. Just move the chains, 10 yards, every 10 yards.
11:38 to go in the game. Midland Lee 10, Smithson Valley 3. A defensive battle to say the least. Williams takes the snap, fakes a throw, now looks long, has Radaball on the right sideline. Gets bumped. Ball's overthrown. It's incomplete. Might have got a flag if the ball was closer to him, but I think it was a step past him. Therefore, no flag even thought about there.
Yeah, the safety came over. That's Carl Taylor, the senior. Actually, he's a junior. He's one of their best defensive players in the secondary. He came over to overlap with the receiver, Radaball, and got a little bump on him, Tony, but I think to your point, the ball was just a little bit too far out of reach, and therefore they couldn't call interference. No catch.
So Williams on 2nd and 10. Gives a quick pitch. Here's Franco coming this way. And their defense is all over it.
Same guy just commented about.
That is, that's Frash. Pardon me, Darlington Frash is carrying most of the running back chores here in the second half, and that time it was his run that didn't get much. I said from the 20 at the beginning. This is 1st and 10 from the 25. Now it's 3rd and 10. Williams has some options. Takes the snap. Throws a ball. It's caught and will be short of a first down.
It's close.
Let's see who it is.
They're about 1.5 yards short. They're going to punt the ball.
Pass caught by Kaysen Wells, a freshman. Kaysen Wells, 5'9", 155, a true freshman. Any other kind of freshman in high school, Tony?
No, they're just true freshmen, though.
He caught the pass, but it's short, and the Rangers will have to punt. Into the wind, it's Gilliam. The soccer-style kick, not a bad kick, spiraling. It'll get a bounce and a good Ranger bounce, and will roll inside the 20 and go down near the 16 before it's finally downed. And the Rangers have won some field position battle with 10:08 to go here in the fourth quarter. Down 10-3, the Lee Rebels up 10-3.
Yeah, you couldn't have drawn up any better that time. That punt by Gillen. Soccer style, away from the receiver to be able to field a punt, and it got a great forward roll for you.
He did.
Great.
Kind of surprised that the kick returner didn't keep an eye on it and try to go get it, because it was going over his head, but not by much.
Yeah. I still say when it's end over end like that, it's just disaster waiting to happen. It's hard to field it. It's hard to grab it. If you get it clean, it's okay, but the chance it's a 50-50 chance of being able to do that. You certainly don't want to turn the ball over and give it back to your opponent down here in this end zone, close to the end zone.
Hinojosa back out to run the show. Handoff, trailer, couple of yards.
Trey Richard did a nice job that time by fighting off the offensive guard, getting in the backfield and getting trailer for just like a yard gain. That was a great play that time by Richard.
Up to the 17, it's 2nd and 9. Hinojosa takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and the defense is right there and almost wrestles the ball away. Who's got the ball?
Trey Richard, again, in the backfield.
Wow. He
almost got the handoff.
Rangers almost got the offense. Trey Witcher, undersized to say the least at 5'11", 235, but he makes plays on the defensive line and made a big one there.
Yeah, very quick off the go here, and that's where he gets it in the backfield.
Rebels spread it with 4 receivers. Hinojosa has some pressure. Now tries to scramble. Good saving tackle. Nice job. Tanner Hobeck brings him down near the 20. It's 4th down and about 7.
This is what you wanted your defense, come up 3 and out, and now be able to field a punt in some decent field position. So great job by the Ranger defense.
So they'll punt, will the Rebels, deep in their own territory. Bungie really backing up this time. Rangers look to send all 10. He's been able to get rid of it quickly, though, and the Rangers have not gotten close lately. That one was really close. Livingston will field it on his own 40. Has the sideline of the right to try to get some room, and does across midfield. Brings it up to the 46, and the Rangers are in business with some decent field position with 8:13 to go in the fourth. It's 10-3. The Rebels of Midland Lee on top in this defensive battle.
Well, here you go. This is where the game could be made right here. 8:13 left on the clock, and you got great field position for the offense. And again, you get some sort of rhythm, you get some consistency going here, running and mixing it up.
Let's give a lot of credit to this Midland Lee defense because they've been one of the reasons the offense has been sluggish. Here's a pass. Williams down the sideline, intended for Radabon. That time, that is interference. That time it is not Radabon. Is that Gilliam? Gilliam tried to receive it, and two different Rebels went through him to try to stop the ball and went right through him, giving him no chance to catch it.
Well, so it's automatic first down. Now that's that explosive play that Coach Hill is always looking for, that opportunity to change the momentum of the game, that one play. That even though it wasn't a completed pass, it was an interference, but it was considered an explosive play because it changes the momentum and changes drastically the field position.
So 15 yards is the penalty. The ball up to the 31 where the Rangers have it, 1st and 10. Quick huddle by Williams. Quick to the line. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Their defense is kind of scrambling a little bit. Snap the ball and go. Here's Williams with a keeper up the middle. Gets 5, 6, 7 across the 25 to the 23. Williams wants to get back up in a hurry.
Well, I love it when your quarterback will stick his nose in the defender and mow him over when he's running with the football. That's exactly what Williams did that time. He ran over the safety. I think it was Omar Patel, number 6. Shows a lot of guts by the quarterback, Williams.
So Williams this time on 2nd and 3. Gives it to Franco, who bounces off a defender, but then Carl Taylor. Trailer and Taylor. Trailer the running back, Taylor the safety. Carl Taylor comes up and says, no, you're not getting the first down. Back to the line of scrimmage, he pushes Franco, and it's now 3rd and 3.
Yeah, again, having to bounce outside because there's nothing inside, Tony, so you got to bounce outside and try to pick up some yardage, and that time the safety came up and did a nice job making a tackle.
3rd and 3, the biggest third down of the night. Williams looks to the sideline. Don't know that they're changing anything. So the original play call with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Williams, it's a keeper, and he's got a first down. He gets smacked.
They had the numbers on that side of the ball, Tony. They had more blockers than there were defenders, so they made the change on the sidelines with the coaches, radioed up from here from the press box, and made the change. Williams got the first down.
Bunch of personnel changes by the Rangers now. Is there a timeout?
There's a player down.
Oh, player down.
Injury. Right.
Well, no. We'll see what it is.
We don't know who it is.
Okay. So it is going to be time for a brief timeout. We'll take it with him. We'll be back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Okay, take a look here. You know, these pearly whites, they're just not right. So you got this guy here, and boom, you move it over here. And don't forget this guy here. You shove it over here. After Ferris Orthodontics get a hold of these teeth, bam! It's like magic for your teeth. So the thing is, when teeth are lined up, you get a good smile. And it was Ferris Orthodontics that did that right there.
Williams out of the shotgun, takes it himself up the middle, has a seam, bounces off a defender, then falls forward with some great forward momentum. Give him about 8 yards to the 9-yard line. Then there's penalty flags as a little bit of a scuffle broke out at the end of that one. I tell you what's happening right now. Their defensive linemen have played the whole game without subs, really, and they're starting to wear down a little bit.
They are starting to wear down, and now tempers are starting to flare because guess what? The offense for Smithson Valley is now pushing them back, and they don't like it. That was a flagrant, personal foul penalty by the safety come up and swinging a punch. That's ridiculous.
So from the 9-yard lines, what the run went to, a couple of flags come out. We'll look for the call. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike on the defense.
He's ejected from the game.
Wow. Did you see who it was?
I didn't catch the number.
Well, that could be even bigger than big. Ball goes inside the 5 where it's 1st and goal by virtue of the penalty after the 8-yard run. Can't see on the sideline who's out. So Williams, 1st and goal from just inside the 5. Darlington Frash tries to fight his way. They try to rip the ball away, but he gets to about the 2, maybe, well, we'll call it the 2, where it'll be 2nd down and goal.
That's nothing but hard running by Frash, going up the middle, taking on the would-be tacklers, about 4 of them, and still getting a couple yards out of it.
Chance to tie the game with a touchdown here. Williams takes the snap. He's going to try to get it himself. Fights. He gets in. Levi Williams, touchdown. And now the Rangers are an extra point away from tying this one up.
Tough run that time by the quarterback. You know, Levi Williams reminds me of a running back. He's big enough to be a running back, and he just took on a huge hit and still spun off and got in the end zone. That was a tough, hard run by Levi Williams. He took a shot, too. Do you see his head go back? He took a wallop and still had the strength to go in the end zone. Maybe that's that extra weight he put on in offseason.
I think
it's paying off, that strength.
Mason Reed in for the extra point as the Rangers try to tie it up. Kick is up. It's good. It's 10-10 with 5:40 to go in this one.
A lot of football left, though. A lot of football.
Rangers have tied it up in where a game where scoring has been anything but easy. And as we play the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds with the Rangers fixing to kick it off here in a second, this one's been a battle of all battles.
Well, we've seen more offensive productivity by both teams the second half. The first half was just a little shot of offensive productivity by both teams, but this second half, especially we've seen with Smithson Valley, the Rangers have come up extra pumped up, both offensively, defensively, realizing let's take control of this game, let's win this game, just do what it takes to do it. And coming back from behind, going down the field and scoring, that's responding to the opportunity.
No doubt about it. Mason Reed will kick into the wind for the first time tonight.
Carl Taylor and Fuji back.
Tuba's up, so we can't see. Yeah. There's a nice kick. It'll carry near the goal line. About the 3, fielded by Taylor. He fakes a reverse, keeps it himself. He's got some room across the 30, the 40. He'll go across midfield. One man to beat. There's a hold. He pulled his jersey. Now Taylor's chased down from behind, and no one will catch him. And there's a kickoff return for a touchdown. And I'm telling you what, there was a bad hold.
There's
a bad hold that didn't get called.
It was a bad. Yeah. And I don't know if it was the kicker or who, but it was pulled a jersey and pulled him back.
Yeah, it was Mason Reed. He was trying to just get there, and he was being held.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, they take the kickoff and drive and just take it all the way for 6 points. That's them responding back to the adversity now.
There's no doubt that was a great kickoff return by Carl Taylor. Traylor and Taylor, the big men for this team.
Traylor Taylor.
I don't know if they don't have enough guys on the field or what, but the play clock's going down and they're not ready to kick it.
They have to call timeout. They're wanting to go for 2.
No. They got the kicker out there. They just need another blocker, and there's a delay of game, so it'll be a 25-yard extra point.
Yeah, penalties have really hurt Midland Lee this game constantly. It's the end.
So the extra point try will come with 5:23 to go in the game. Lee now up 16-0. The extra point try is up and it's good. So it's 17-10. The Rebels lead the Rangers. 5:23 to go in this game. We'll be back after this timeout.
We've got spirit? Yeah, we do. Fill up your tank and support the Rangers, too. When you get gas, look for the Rangers Spirit Pump because Pit Stop and Fishers are donating a percentage of sales from that pump to the Smithson Valley Athletic Booster to support our student athletes. Get gas here and fill up the Booster Club's bank. Here's where you can find your spirit pumps. When you see it, pull up and fill up, Rangers.
We're back to Ranger Stadium. It's 17-10. Midland Lee has taken the lead. A kickoff return of about 97 yards.
Well, I know Coach Larry Hill takes great pride in stressing the importance of special teams with his football team. If you go into the Smithson Valley Ranger locker room, you see posted on the wall all of the goals. And it's not for the offense, not for the defense, it's all special team. So this, it really hurts when Coach Hill sees a kickoff return for a touchdown in a crucial game where it's going back and forth. That's huge.
And obviously reverse on kickoff returns is something they've done a lot of because they were even practicing it in the pregame. And it kind of caught the Rangers that time. This end-over-end kick is in the end zone. Wow, he's going to bring it out. And to the 21, it's Darlington Frash, and that's not as good as the 25 if you take a knee.
Yeah. Well, getting back to that kickoff, you mentioned it was a reverse, but still, it's the discipline of staying in your lanes when you go down the field, Tony. And I know they work on that. It doesn't matter if it's a double reverse or a sit back and throw back. You stay in your lanes and you be disciplined when you're going down on the kickoff. So that was just. But give credit to the execution of it by Midland Lee as well.
5 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Rangers move on offense from their own 22. Williams wants to keep it, but it's bottled up. Now he wants to reverse his field, and they're still there. That planned quarterback run just wasn't available. And it'll be second and long.
Well, they keep running that play because they had the numbers on that side of the formation. But that time, again, the quickness and athleticism of the Lee defense overcompensates for that. That time, number 9, Harvey, the safety, came up and made the tackle on Williams.
Second and 10. Williams wants to throw. He gets hit. The ball's loose. Did he catch it? Incomplete, intended for Rivera, I think.
I'll tell you what, I give some more credit to Levi Williams staying in the pocket, knowing he was going to get hit by Tracy Mackey. And he really delivered a good pass across the middle for 30. It could have been caught. It was a good pass low where the receiver can only get it and not the defender. Just bobbled it and wasn't able to complete it.
Here comes a blitz. Williams avoids it, rolls to his right, has a man, tries to get it and underthrows Radaball, who was coming from the weak side. It's now 4th and 10. With 4:30 to go, the Rangers punt unit will come out.
Yeah, that was designed for Levi to roll out to his right. Just had nowhere to throw the football and getting pressure again by that name, Tracy Mackey, coming from his defensive end position.
4:30 to go. The Lee Rebels up 17-10. The Rangers with a penalty flag. Gilliam will punt. The wind will knock it down, but he'll get some roll as we go across midfield to about the 45. But we'll see what the flags are. Procedure against the Rangers.
He can take the ball there or make him punt again. We're going to take the ball there.
All right, so Rebel defense does its job, and here comes the offense. They're up by 7 with 4:23 to go.
It looks like Hinojosa did come back into the ball game as well. Again, the wind at their back, and he's a little bit better passer than
the 5 yards. 5 yards goes at the end of the reception.
Oh, I
of
got
the punt.
it.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So instead of the 46, it's the Ranger 49. Here's Hinojosa on a keeper. Up the middle. He's got some room. Squirts away. Avoids another tackler. Then beats another one. Headed to the end zone. And Hinojosa will score. Goodness. 49 yards by Felix Hinojosa, the senior, who carried the ball only 7 times last year but scored 2 touchdowns.
Well, this is his first official varsity start was tonight, and he's played most of the game, and when he's been in, the offense has been pretty productive. That time, this is zone read offense. It's what they've been doing all day, all night long. This time, and Hinojosa just keeps it and does some nifty running, avoiding some tacklers, and runs it into the end zone for a touchdown.
And the extra point is good by John Thompson, and it's 24-10. The Rebels
just like that
have taken control.
Yeah. You run the kickoff back, and then you have one big play with the quarterback keeper, and it's 14 points. You can blink an eye. You know, that was one of the things going into this game that Coach Larry Hill wanted the defense to do, is to eliminate their explosive plays. Well, that's what Midland Lee, the Rebels, that's what they really, that is their game plan. That is their MO, is the big play, the explosive play. Well, they got one here tonight. For most practical purposes, the whole game, the defense has done well shutting it down, except that one play.
Yeah. Well, with 4:12 to go, the Rangers now either need a kickoff return for a score or a score on the first or second play of this drive to have any hope to get back into this one down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they need to do it pretty quick too. And obviously, if you're Coach Hartman over at the Midland League coaching staff, you know that Levi Williams is going to try to throw the football. So you can pretty much pin back, maybe put some pressure, and put everybody back in a zone and just read coverage.
They were offsides. Yep. Kick goes through the end zone, but they'll have to do it again, I'm sure. Well, no, take it to 25 plus 5 more, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much on that.
Yeah, it was a guy
That's a good return. You start at 30.
guy right next to him is the guy that's early. I mean, how?
I don't know. Had to have been an underclassman.
Okay.
Have to be an underclassman.
Okay. So the Rangers will start 1st and 10 from their own 30. Having to make something happen in a hurry, down 24-10 with 4:12 to go in the game.
They become a little bit more one-dimensional because you know that from a defensive perspective that the Rangers are going to have to get in the end zone pretty quick. So what you do defensively is not give them that big play.
There's only 4 offensive linemen out there. Now there are 5.
Taylor Brooks comes out.
Yeah. Pressure on Levi. Throws. Intended for Gilliam. Goes incomplete. He was bracketed by 3 different defenders around him on the play.
Again, knowing that they're going to be throwing the football, you just run that zone defense, and you can't look the safety off to get him to move. It doesn't open up a very big window for Williams to throw that pass coming across the middle.
Rivera catches the ball on the right flat. Throw and catch results in about a 6-yard gain as we go under 4 minutes to go. It's now 3rd and 4 for the Rangers at their 36.
Seems so simple to just do that. You think, why don't we just do that all game long? Well, a little more complicated than that.
Rangers send a receiver to the left and 2 to the right. A couple of running backs in the backfield. Williams wants to throw. Has a man left side. It's it's Radaball. He'll go out of bounds near midfield. So a 1st down pass and catch out to the 50. Brings 1st down for the Rangers with 3:27 to go.
That was a good-looking play right there. One-on-one with Holbert. Radaball was one-on-one with the cornerback, Trey Holbert, and he just beat him. They made a nice cut to the outside. Williams delivered right on between the numbers. Good for a 1st down. And stopped the clock.
Something I do appreciate about Larry Hill, too. There's really no reason to be in extreme hurry here. Let's go get a score to begin with. But the place when the clock stops helps. Williams goes to his left, throws. Intended for Radaball, but he kind of got tied up on his spin move, and it goes incomplete. It's 2nd and 10.
That's okay as that back shoulder play. Again, throwing it where only the receiver can get it in that situation. Incomplete pass, and it stops the clock. 2nd down and 10.
3:22 to go.
Right at midfield, too.
Right. Seen Levi Williams throw a touchdown pass from here, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Pierce. Here's Levi. Gets some pressure, so he started running. He gets the first down across the 40. Finally dragged down at the 32. The clock will stop on the first down if they want to hurry back to the line. Coach is kind of up with a little bit of urgency here.
That's really gutsy for the quarterback, knowing that he is the senior leader on that football team, not just because he's a quarterback, but he has more playing experience than everyone else on the offensive side of the ball, and taking that kind of run and those hits, that's awesome.
Williams has a little bit of pressure, has a man, and just overthrew him ever so slightly. It is Chris Rivera.
Man, he had a Rivera right in front of the safety and just couldn't deliver a well enough thrown ball for Rivera to be able to get it.
And as I said, Levi was under pressure. He kind of stepped up in the pocket there. Still don't think his feet were set as much as he wanted to be. But the ball was just ever so slightly overthrown, and it is 2nd down.
Good play call, too, on 1st down. They call, to throw that kind of corner, that post route, because it was open.
Williams, pressure in his face, throws it outside.
Get out.
And a good pass and catch. Is that Rivera? I think it is.
Yes.
Chris Rivera gets first down yardage up to the 22nd.
And stop the clock.
And stops the clock with 2:48 to go. Time-consuming drive. Conservative drive, I should say.
And look at those big guys, the defensive linemen, their hands are on their hips. They're walking slow. They're tired. To your point, they weren't able to substitute during the game, and therefore Midland Lee just called timeout.
So Midland Lee called a timeout.
Yes.
Okay. That's their final timeout.
You had to give their defense a little bit of rest.
Well, then why did they get, if they don't get charged for a timeout, they can't call their guys off to the sideline and stop Smithson Valley from running a play. So he got a free.
So he did get it. Yeah, he did.
He got a free timeout. Oh, my. I want to say this officiating crew is kind of falling apart here in the 4th quarter.
Looks like they got one left.
There's Frash up the middle. He gets enough for a first down on 3rd and short. Stops the clock on the first down as the chains are moved.
Looks like the Lee Rebels are making a few substitutions on the defensive line now.
Let's go.
Those guys their legs are dead. That's why offense got to keep it going.
Yes. Levi had to get rid of that one in a hurry as he was hit.
Yeah, he did. And lucky that they didn't call holding too.
Yeah.
Copenhagen that time was trying to block on, I believe it was Mackey.
I think it was Larry West.
Oh, it was West, yes.
56, who's just come into the game. Yeah. The clock stopped. The Rangers get a play call in. 2nd and 10 from the 18. 2:38 to go in the game. Williams. Snap, throw, Radabaugh, the intended receiver. Too tall is the pass, incomplete. The Rangers will face 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Levi's got to throw it where the receiver has a chance at the ball. And when you're going across the middle in front of the safety and the linebacker's coming to you, you can't throw it high. You got to throw it down where they can catch it and cradle it and go forward.
Catch it and secure it. So the Rangers now 3rd and 10 from the 18. 2 receivers either way for Williams. Looks left on a little look-in route. That's Gilliam, I think, inside the 5. Fighting for the end zone. Gets to the 2 before he's brought down. Clock will stop on the first down. 2:28 left. Rangers still fighting as they try to get the initial score, and then we'll see what happens with an onside kick.
That's Gilliam just fighting with all he had to try to get in that end zone, but good pass, good catch, good call.
Williams, little motion, fakes it, keeps it, fights, scores. Levi Williams with his second touchdown of the night makes it a 24-16 game with the extra point to come.
Good mixture of play calls that time. Running, passing, quick passes, quick slants, then run up the middle. It kept the defense on its toes, and that's what you have to do.
Good play calls, but better play execution as well.
Well, true. That's true.
So Mason Reed on for the extra point. Gilliam the holder. Snap. Hold. Kick is good. It is 24-17 with 2:13 to go in this one. And the Rangers will have to kick off, more than likely with an onside kick, to try to get back in this one, still down a score.
Anything's possible. 2 minutes and 13 seconds seems like a lot of time. But to your point, I think they're going to have to onside kick this. They have a chance.
Rangers still have 3 timeouts. And Midland Lee has one. Because they weren't charged for the timeout they took a little while ago. But we won't talk about that anymore.
Remember, Dad, to take a timeout, though, when they didn't have the quarterback on the field, the first play of the second. I mean, wow. I thought for sure that'd come back to haunt him, but we'll see.
We'll see. Game's not over yet. 2:13 to go. Mason Reed out to put a toe to it. Kickoff coverage team.
They want to pop this too. And instead of an onside it, just kind of that pop pooch over the front line. I saw them work on that a while back too.
Looks like the Rebels will stick
hands team on. They got the DBs and the wide receivers all in the front 2 lines. They call it the hands team.
10 up. So Mason Reed.
Pops it in the corner.
Pops it to the corner. It'll bounce. It's on the floor. Who's got it? It's down. It's loose. We'll have to wait and see for them to uncover it all. The Rebels had the best shot at it, but the Rangers have it. Oh, my. The pop-up kick by Mason Reed turns to success as the Rebels don't field it cleanly, and then the ball's loose, and now they say maybe not.
There's a penalty back there. I bet you have wondered if something, they were offside. Rangers were offside. Oh my goodness. Someone was offside on the onside kicking team.
Well, I want to see the replay because I didn't see it. But
I didn't see it either.
Goodness.
That's a shame. That's too bad.
What do you think they'll do this time?
Well, White, the back receiver for Midland Lee, just, you have to field it because it's gone 10 yards. And that kind of kick, because it's high and it's short,
it wasn't one
he wasn't able to get it clean.
But it wasn't one of their normal kick return guys.
That's true.
It was a different guy because all their hands guys who would be returners were up at the front.
That's true. You have to field it, though, so you don't blame him for trying.
They're going normal kick return. Saying if you're going to pop it up, I have a better chance of catching it. So
that's a real shame.
It is.
That looked beautiful, but I wasn't looking at the line the whole time, so
didn't see it either.
I didn't see it. May have to just regular onside, but then you really had a short field,
Hey, it's 2 minutes to go.
I know. You take your luck and kick it deep, and
you got
try to pin him back down here.
If you kick it, I don't know.
You got to kick it regular.
Popped it up again, aiming for about the 20. It hits the ground again, but this time it's loose again. And the ball's loose. Who's got the Rangers? Got it this time. Oh my! How on earth, if you're Midland Lee, do you let that happen again?
I have no idea.
The pop-up is in the same spot, and they didn't catch it again. And the Rangers have possession as they almost just handed it back to Smithson Valley.
That's Fungi filling the ball too. And he could not control the football. And credit the team getting down there, sprinting down there, and being Johnny on the spot to get it.
So the Rangers have the ball from the 25-yard line of Midland Lee. They have all 3 timeouts, and there's 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. A touchdown and an extra point ties it, and we go overtime. Their defensive line is worn out. They still get some pressure. He throws it up, and that has to be interference.
Has to be.
Levi Williams intended for Gilliam. The ball was not near Gilliam, but how could he get to the ball? Because he was basically tackled in the end zone.
Well, they're talking about it now.
The sideline judge didn't throw it, but the back judge did.
There's a chance they may wave this off, but
I don't know. Because he was tackled, I don't know how you can wave it off. We'll have to see. They're going to talk with the referee now.
they have to, first of all, see, is it catchable? Is it a catchable ball and that the defender interfered with the receiver trying to make that catch? And it sure kind of looked up, from our angle, it looked like it.
Distance-wise, it was about 5 yards inside of him, but how does he make the move there because he's tackled?
From our angle, it looked like it would be interference, but from down there,
sure,
it's a 50-50 chance.
Sure. They're going to say it's not a penalty.
No, it's pass interference. They said it's going to be 10 yards first down.
No, the ball's still at the line of scrimmage.
The referee just signaled.
Okay.
Pass interference. So watch, he's going to step it off. 10 yards, first down.
Well, it certainly was pass interference. It's half the distance. Because it's a 15-yard penalty. So the Rangers have the ball at the 12.5. We'll call it the 12.
Yeah.
2 minutes to go in the game. The Rangers down by a touchdown, 24-17. Levi Williams sends two receivers to the right. Tight end on the right. Two backs to his right. Williams gives it to Franco up the middle, has some running room. He's almost thrown into the end zone on the tackle as he's caught at the 5 and then thrown to the 1. The Rangers will have it goal to go from the 1 yard line.
Good hard run, but a great offensive line surge that time, pushing the defensive line back.
Well, the defensive line's standing up more than they're going forward, and
they're tired.
That time they just got bumped enough to create a seam. The offensive line needs to make one more surge and tie this one up.
Clock is running.
Same formation. Williams to Franco. Pieces his way through there, and he gets in the end zone. Rangers have all the way back. 24-23. An extra point will tie it.
He's going for one. He's going to tie it. I mean, he's going to go for the one.
Well, I think as tired as their defensive is,
exactly,
defensive unit is, I'd go for extra time. So the extra point try by Mason Reed now with 1:33 to go. They're putting some athletes on the corner trying to rush. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is no good, wide left.
Wow. Wow.
The kick is no good, wide left, and the score is 24-23. Midland Lee on top by a point.
Well, let's go for the pooch kickoff again. Let's just pop it up again.
1:33 to go in the game. The Rangers will have to kick it off.
You know, it looked like it wasn't a clean. It looked like the snap was a little bit high and wasn't clean getting down. But again, it looked like it was a little high.
I think the left side of the defense was putting pressure on him, and I think they kind of looked. I think
he pulled. You think he looked up a little bit?
I don't know. I saw it and I thought this is going to be a problem if we don't block it well.
Well, he might have looked up a little bit too soon, like I do with my 9-iron. To be honest with you, and that gets you in trouble.
I don't look up with my 9-iron, but those 5-irons don't go very far when I do. 1:33 to go in the game. The Rangers down by a point, and they have to kick it off.
Crazy. This is crazy.
The fact that they even had it within a point is just miraculous, to say the least.
Well, and the reverse kickoff return for a touchdown, bad on special teams, good on special teams, 2 pop-up onside kicks successfully done. So what do you do in this situation? Onside it again. You have to.
They're going to go back to their initial formation with the 10 up, the 2 lines of 5 and 1 guy back.
Called a hands team, Tony, hands team. We'll see if they can get it.
Trey Hubert, looks like 18. Trey Hubert is the back, who's down at about the 22. He's the one that didn't field it the first time. This time it looks like it's an end-over-end pop-up kick. It goes 10 yards. Who has it? I think they do. That's my read on it.
Well, it barely went 10 yards, too. Yeah.
So
you got it right at the 10-yard marker.
The Rebels will have it at midfield.
Minute 31. Start using those timeouts.
Rangers have 3 timeouts. Rebels have 1. Larry Hill's out probably to say we're going to call a timeout as soon as the play ends. But you got to come up with 3 stops.
Yeah, you do.
3 stops.
Looks like Hinojosa is the quarterback.
Yeah. Keeps it himself. Gets a couple, maybe 3. Falls forward. Rangers call a timeout with 1:27 to go.
Well, I could have called that play big time. Don't even try to hand it off and, fumble the exchange.
Give me a different look next time and do the same thing. Don't just
Yeah.
I'm telling you that they seem to be very simplistic, which is expected in the first game.
Yeah.
But you're right. With him getting 3 yards a pop, you're there.
Yeah. What's 3 times 4? First down. And that's the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the defensive coaches are out there now with the huddle.
Will Gibbons came off. He had a little helmet issue, and it looks like he had to swap out helmets with another player.
That's not good.
No, that's not good at all.
Ball's at the Ranger 47, where it's 2nd and 7. Send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hinojosa in the backfield with Trailer.
Spraying him out now. Trying to create a lane.
Would he dare throw it? Trailer gets the handoff.
Oh, man.
Runs it for a while. Runs about 7 seconds off, and then another Ranger timeout as the ball goes back to the original line of scrimmage, I think, right near midfield, maybe the 49.
That play had nowhere to go. None whatsoever.
And Trailer knew it the minute he took the handoff and just decided, let's waste some time.
Yeah. I don't know about the Midland Lee offensive line. I don't know what happened. I guess they just stood up and said, hey, just get this thing over with. I'm a long way from home. I want to get on that bus and head back to Midland. I don't know.
Well,
this has been an interesting second half, I will say. This is kind of what I expected from the beginning.
Yeah. The first half wasn't anything like this.
No. You and I were looking at each other. We don't know what to say.
We played 24 minutes to get to this point where we see football.
Exactly.
We didn't see much football in the first half.
The game tonight was only 24 minutes long.
All right. It is 3rd and 11 from the 49, the Rebel 49. 1:20 to go. Hinojosa gives it to Trailer. He won't get much, and the Rangers will call another timeout, and they'll get a punt if the Rebels want to punt.
That's
well, I don't know why you'd give them a short field.
Well, and they've got the wind at their back.
Yeah. Let's pin them and make them march.
So
without timeouts.
Exactly. Well, if you're Smithson Valley now, do you go after it, or do you try to set up to return and get a chance? Because if you rough the kicker, it's over. And they've been close already all game long. This depends on what Coach Hill feels comfortable, confident in what his strategy is.
There's a way to argue that either way you want to go.
Really
that you really could do.
It really is.
Do you put all 10 there and just block?
No, you're just hoping that he shanks a punt.
Yeah.
The punter shanks it, or doesn't get a good one off. But if it does.
But he hasn't all night. He hasn't really had a bad one.
No, he hasn't.
He's had some ones that weren't real good, but he hasn't had a bad one.
I bet you they're setting up for return on this. I think he wants to get it in his offensive hands, and Levi Williams have an opportunity to win this game.
I'm sure he does.
Yep. Well, there you go. Well, we'll see. We'll see with 1:08 left, Tony Brubaker, what the Smithson Valley Rangers look like. First game, it hasn't been pretty, but you know what? They've got a chance, an opportunity to go down and kick a field goal, or at least get a shot at winning this game.
Kicking the field goal is a problem because of the wind.
I know it.
From any distance.
I know it. But I'm like with Coach Hill. I want to give it in the ball in my quarterback's hands. Let him have an opportunity to score. Let him have a chance to win this game. You got someone like Levi Williams, why would you not?
It's been quite a ball game. Rangers 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Williams gets rid of the ball and popped immediately is the receiver Gilliam. I think it might have been the hook and ladder there.
They were trying to hook and ladder.
Catch the ball and then toss it to the receiver that's circling out.
Yeah, but he got hit so hard the ball was jarred loose.
So incomplete is the call. Rangers trying to pull out all stops with 1:04 to go, down by a point at their own 20-yard line. Levi hit as he throws, and it goes incomplete. Intended for Chris Rivera, I believe, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that time, Romeo Martinez and Mackey were in the backfield, just all over Levi's legs, and he never could really step into the pass, and pass had no chance of being completed. Tough here, 3rd down and 10 on your 20-yard line. I mean, there's just not a whole lot you can do.
Well, bottom line is you got to get a 1st down to have any chance. Yeah. Williams looks left, throws it to the edge, intended for Radaball, and it goes incomplete. A little too tall for him. Got tipped by, I think that was
I don't understand
Hurdle.
that. I don't understand that. When you're throwing in double coverage right there with Radaball, I don't understand that.
So the senior quarterback has one more shot here on 4th and 10. 54 seconds to go. Still time if we can get a 1st down and keep some momentum going. That first down is a booger though. Williams has some options. Going long for Rivera. He's caught it at midfield. Then the ball comes loose.
He fumbled it. God.
I think it's a catch and a fumble, and it'll be Midland Lee ball.
Yeah. He had it. Great catch, but he got popped. And the ball came loose. Midland Lee football. That's a shame.
That is a shame. Goodness. Make a play with 45 seconds to go and have a chance at midfield.
It was a good pass by
Boy,
Levi.
it was.
Williams,
it was.
too.
Great catch by Rivera to go up and get it.
Yeah, well, credit the hit. I mean, that definitely jarred the football loose, and then the defenders were right on it to recover it.
Do you do anything but take a knee?
No, take a knee. They're in the
victory formation.
Victory formation.
One more time and it's over, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking at Levi Williams down on the sidelines right now. He's over there consulting Rivera.
Yeah.
I know the kid probably feels terrible about fumbling the football, but they're all over there putting their hands on him. Look, dude, you're going to make a lot of plays for us this season. Yeah. Man. Keep your head up. This wasn't your fault. This is a team. This is a team.
Hey. I'm as adamant as I can ever be. Teams win and teams lose.
That's right.
No individual ever wins a game and no individual ever loses a game. Smithson Valley, though, has dropped their season opener. 24-23, Midland Lee comes up with a victory. And we'll have a nice bus ride home while the Rangers will get ready for a road trip next week, 0-1. Tough one. We'll take a timeout and come back with our post-game show. So we hope you stay with us as the Rangers drop it 24-23 to the Midland Lee Rebels. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal ISD. The Comal Independent School District is a fast-growing and innovative district with more than 23,000 students. Families are attracted to Comal ISD because of its family values, neighborhood schools, and safe environments. Come to Comal ISD. And Chicken Express, home of world-famous chicken tenders and legendary Chicken-E sweet tea. Dine in, drive up, or drive through. We'll see you at Chicken Express. And Physicians Premier. Our conveniently located freestanding ERs are fully equipped and expertly staffed so you get the best care closest to home. At Physicians Premier, you'll find faster service, friendly doctors, and a comfortable level like no other. And Texas Regional Bank. Buying or building a home? We have construction and mortgage loans to help. For all your personal or business banking needs, Texas Regional Bank. The people you know. And Texas 46, a home-style hill country restaurant, has been in the Spring Branch community for over 30 years, where the focus is on a Lone Star favorite, slow-cooked barbecue. We can cater or host your next large event, too. Welcome to Texas 46.
Welcome back to Rangers Stadium. I'm Tony Brubaker along with Geff Gandy. As we talk about the loss, a tough loss, 24-23, Geff. As we'll find out from Coach in a little while, it was a game that just went back and forth, and we ended up a point short.
I think so. You know, it was a tale of two halves, really. You look at the football from the perspective of the whole game. But, you know, I look at it this way. No football game is going to be played perfect. And you got 11 guys on the field, and they all got to be, cohesive and working together. And they did a lot of good things tonight. They showed a lot of guts coming back and making some big plays, especially on a special team. But when you look at its two breakdowns, it was the return on the kickoff, and it was the quarterback for Midland Lee running 60 yards for a touchdown. Two breakdowns will cost you the game, and those things can be corrected. The main thing is you came out of the game without any injuries, knowing what you need to work on, and you got a week next week to prepare for the next game. So there's a lot of pluses. You lick your wounds. You wish you would have won the game, but that's just the way it goes. And so you just kind of learn build from that.
All right, the Rangers do lose it 24-23. When we come back, we'll talk with head coach Larry Hill.
Chicken Express is the place for legendary chicken tenders, the freshest sides, and the best sweet tea in Texas, Chicken-E sweet tea. Let's give a big thank you to the Brown family for supporting all the high schools in the area for over a decade. Dine in, drive up, or drive through. We'll see you at Chicken Express.
And we're back at Ranger Stadium with the head coach of the Rangers, Larry Hill, and coach, a tough one. So many different parts of the game. Let's start with the offense, which was sluggish in the first half, seemed to really respond to different scenarios in the second half.
Well, I thought we got a little better. You know, our defense kept us in the football game in the first half, while we couldn't do much. And, we go in down 3-0, but kind of found some things that got us into a little bit of a flow in the second half. Still a bit erratic, but took advantage of some scoring opportunities and, gave ourselves a chance to win. But bottom line is you either do win or you don't, and we came up a point short.
Defensively, I thought there were so many good things that happened on the night. You were able to keep them out of the end zone on so many opportunities, but a kickoff return for a touchdown really became a problematic situation in that second half.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the play of the game. I mean, there's plenty of plays, 4, 5, 6 of them. You say if this had gone differently, it may be a different outcome, but Midland Lee can probably say that too. But the kick return was a big deal, and it's pretty uncharacteristic of us. They ran a scheme that we had anticipated and had worked a bunch on, and, we didn't execute.
Defensively, several guys stood out. We thought your defensive line had some big opportunities tonight to make plays.
Well, I thought Trey Witcher inside, particularly, he and Jack's the oldest one, Will Gibbons, really controlled the inside good, and for the most, really a group that scored, averaged over 42 points a game a year ago, top 50 several times. So, we bent but didn't break, and then at times we got outright stops. So I thought Trey and the others played very well.
Your receiving core is new to most people who've watched this team the last year. I thought they stepped up and made some plays, and I thought Levi was a good manager in the second half.
Well, we found some things to try to let him throw in a rhythm. He got a lot of pressure in the first half. It was very rare that he could throw on rhythm, and a lot of times it was just getting rid of the ball just to escape pressure. Second half, we went to a few more catch and release things to minimize the pass rush. Then we began to pass protect better, and while we were far from flawless, we obviously threw and caught the ball a little better in the second half.
Did you think the team made adjustments with you well during the game?
Well, I think so. We're pretty inexperienced, particularly in some key areas, and I think the best thing we did was just keep competing. And, let's give ourselves a chance to win. There are several times the buzzards were circling pretty good, and we just kept fighting and gave ourselves a chance to win at the end of the game. We didn't get it done. We won't make any excuses for that, but real proud of our effort.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks for having me.
And we'll be right back with one of the players right after this.
Smoky Mo's is great. You can feed a whole bunch of people on a little bit of money. It's perfect for Friday nights.
My boy's a football player, and this fills him up. The brisket is awesome.
I like brisket and sweet. Brisket. I can't say it.
They have the best turkey, brisket, sausage in all of Comal County.
I agree, and the kids love it too.
You're never going to play offensive line for the Rangers eating salad. Come get some beef.
Get your guns up!
Go Rangers!
We've got spirit. Yeah, we do. Fill up your tank and support the Rangers, too. When you get gas, look for the Rangers Spirit Pump because Pit Stop and Fishers are donating a percentage of sales from that pump to the Smithson Valley Athletic Booster to support our student athletes. Get gas here and fill up the Booster Club's bank. Here's where you can find your spirit pumps. When you see it, pull up and fill up, Rangers.
We're back on the Ranger Network, and I'm here post-game with Trey Richer, defensive tackle for Smithson Valley. And Trey, first of all, tough loss, but it looks like it was really a game of two halves. What did the coach say in the dressing room during the halftime?
Basically, we had to cancel all mistakes. We did have a lot of mistakes going into the half, but we can't dwell on that to affect the second half. We just got to get up, pick it up, let's get it going. Basically, just said this is going to be a dogfight, and we just have to dig it out, and it's going to be a gut win. So,
yeah, they had some big linemen. I mean, they were some big boys out there. All right, what do you do to prepare yourself? As a defensive lineman, and you got your offensive line, they outweigh you. They're bigger, they're taller. What do you do to prepare yourself to play someone like that?
Honestly, doesn't really matter what size they are. We attack every team the same way. It all starts in the weight room, bench press, power clean, squat, get your hands struck out. Basically, if they're way bigger than you, just get lower, more aggressive, use them with speed, beat them with speed. So.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you, one of your teammates, Trey Moore, is a sophomore, first varsity start. I thought he played well too. What kind of comments can you tell me about Trey and his playmaking? And honestly, I look forward to other things coming from him as well in the coming season.
All I can tell you about Trey is he's a hard worker in the weight room, off the field, on the field, in the classroom. And the next 3 years on varsity for him, he's going to be making big plays, and he's going to become big. So.
Good deal. Hey, moving forward, okay, it's a loss. It's disappointing. You made some good things, you made some good plays, and you did some things you need to correct, obviously. What is the mindset moving forward, starting Monday, getting ready for Hendrickson, going to Pflugerville? They're a tough team too. What do you think is going to be the mindset, during practice moving forward next week?
Basically, we're gonna forget this loss. We're gonna move past it, and we're just gonna get self-motivated again because they're a quarterfinalist team. Great team. We beat them last year in the past few seconds, so they're going to be ready for us. So we're just going to have to keep preparing, attitude right, and just stay motivated.
Fantastic. Listen, I appreciate you coming up and spending a couple minutes with me. I thought you played a good game, did really well getting pressure up the field, making some tackles, making things happen. Stay healthy and look forward to seeing you later on in the season, okay? Thank you for coming in.
Since I've had GVTC installed in my office, I've been able to get a lot more done. With fiber speeds up to a gig a second, I can turn in all my schoolwork on time, keep up on social media, and watch game film with no interruptions.
Whoa! Whoa, we haven't even played that game yet.
Yeah, it's that fast.
Enjoy uninterrupted entertainment with your favorite apps through our professionally installed GVTC Wi-Fi home network. Log on to gvtc.com to sign up today.
And we're back on the Rangers Network. Coach Hill quite upbeat after a loss, I thought. Trey Witcher represented himself well.
Well, they did. And, of course, you don't ever want to lose a football game, and especially the first one. But Tony, you and I know this is a long season, and you're trying to get yourself and your team prepared for district play in a few weeks. The telltale sign of this football team is how well they're going to improve from game 1 to the second week, and that comes next Thursday.
And we'll see you next Thursday on the Rangers Network as the Rangers travel up to Pflugerville to take on Hendrickson right here on the Rangers Network.